Excuse me a moment, if I may speak.
Yes, Lamorar.
Just now, Machi said there's something about which he wishes to testify.
Oh yeah, Dark Data. We didn't decide on what we wanted him to testify, but I guess he's deciding. Machi wished to testify about something. What could it be?
What sort of testimony is he talking about?
One moment, please.
Oh, thank goodness. Not heaviest voice, that part. The suspense is killing me.
What?
What? What?
Well, Lamorar.
According to Machi, he has proof of his innocence.
What?
This is a surprise. Yahoo! Victory, Apollo! We did it!
Just because our client said he has proof of his innocence doesn't mean we won suddenly. This is sounding too good to believe, and I know what that usually means.
Well, if that's true, then this is vital testimony. Machi, please testify to the court.
Very well. He says that word of Mr. Letus's death came as a great shock.
Oh, well, that's definitive proof he didn't do it. Case closed.
But if the killing truly followed the lyrics of my song, that is, he could not have done it. He says that's because the lyrics are in English. He does not understand them.
Okay, I don't know where to start there.
I see. He wouldn't have understood the English lyrics to the song. That would prevent him from following them so closely.
I wondered what he meant by proof. Why, he would only have to ask Lamorar to know the meaning of that song.
Lamorar, did you ever explain the lyrics of that song to him?
I did tell him generally what the song was about, but never in so much detail. He never asked. Has my oft-repeated warning already fled their forehead? Lamorar might be protecting the witness.
Well, anyway, let us proceed with the cross-examination. Mr. Justice, if you would.
Yes, Your Honor. Something's hidden in that testimony, I know it. I'll just have to trust my bracelet to tell me where. It worked yesterday, it'll work today. Also, a witness, as far as I'm aware, cannot just voluntarily decide I'm going to testify on this thing. They have to be asked by either side. They can't just speak up and be like, hey, I have something to talk about.
Yeah, I guess that checks out.
What?
That there would have to be some sort of decorum in court.
Well, yeah, I mean,
because otherwise it'd just be like pandemonium. People just saying whatever they wanted.
Yeah, they're actually. I saw an excerpt of I don't know what court, but there's some court case that Musk was in recently, and like he was trying to. I think it was him that was trying to testify on something that they didn't ask him about, and they kept trying to tell him that he wasn't.
Elongated muskrat?
Yeah, that he wasn't allowed, that he was asked to testify on this, so he can't. Like,
yeah,
you have to have one of the two sides. You can't just speak up, because one side is going to do direct examination, and the other side's going to do cross examination. And like, how do you determine who's doing direct now? Because they're asking us to cross-examine. He hasn't been directly examined.
Mm-hmm.
But we also have a ring out, so I don't know if we're looking for something. Or should we just press stuff first, or... You're hesitating. We can just press.
Mr. Latouse's death came as a shock. Okay. With the killing truly follow the lyrics of the song, sure. Alright, that is he could not have done it. He says that because the lingers aren't near. She doesn't. I mean, if it's gonna be anything, it's gonna be this one. Like, he's responded to us talking to him, and properly. Like I think he understands English. He just can't speak it, or he could just be able to speak it too, and he's just like trying to con us in the same way that the game wants us to think that he's conning us by pretending he's blind.
I mean,
so I think it's this one.
Trying to con us anymore. Do you want to? Or what do you think? This is a press. This is
I guess we gotta perceive this one.
Perceive.
I guess so. Like the thing with the bracelet.
Yeah. Oh, my eye.
Oh, you can even see his eyes.
Blink twice if you're in danger. Oh, is that it? Is it the side eye?
Yeah, he's shifting, yeah.
It's
the side eye.
Yeah, it was around the R in English, I think it was.
Yeah. Like, this is a bizarre mechanic because nothing about the sprite would be showing us this. We have to like literally go out of our way.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Whereas,
you probably can press and figure out what sounds suspicious based off of that.
I guess so. You know, no tea, no shade. I don't mean this offensively.
It's not like we pressed at all. So
a better game would make it visible.
Well, then you wouldn't need the ring.
Yeah, we shouldn't. Like, I feel like the ring is supposed to be like a crutch to be able to notice human patterns, right? It's almost like if I were to have made this game, you know, Shutakumi be damned. If I would have made this game, I would have made it so the ticks were like probably still fairly inconsequential, but still perceivable. And then you just use the ring mechanic to like point it out as opposed to contradicting a statement.
I mean, I don't think the ring does, or the bracelet does what you think the bracelet does. And that's
I think the bracelet tightens when a person is essentially shifty.
They'll get into detail with what the bracelet is and how it works over the series. I don't think they even do that in this game. I think they do that.
Like, I played a demo, I think, of the one with the girl.
Yeah.
And her whole thing is that like she can like do the emotions like Peach's game.
Psychology, some forensic psychology,
and like that is like what I feel like is the natural evolution of this bracelet, right? It's like, oh, she was happy when she said something that's supposed to be traumatic. It's like, why is that? You know,
you'll find out more about the bracelet. They do expand on it.
Well,
but they needed a new mechanic after the Magatama was gone, so...
I got my eyes on you, Shutakumi. I'm coming for your job.
He doesn't make these games anymore. This is the last one he made, other than the Great Ace Tourney and the crossover.
I'm building a time machine, Shutakumi.
He doesn't make mainline Ace Tourney anymore. You can't fool my eyes. You glanced toward her the moment Lammeror said the word English. Why?
Also,
because she wasn't speaking English. What?
You're my client. Why am I like making you come out in a negative light?
Well, exactly. Why are we cross-examining a statement that hasn't been directly examined? This isn't a statement. Like, this isn't a testimony.
It's just him talking.
This is just the defendant being like, wait, what about this thing? Which again, you wouldn't even be allowed to do. Just speak out of turn.
Yeah,
that.
like theoretically, you would be able to talk with your client outside of court and be like, "Hey, I really want to talk about this thing."
You could call. Oh, you could talk directly with the defense during court.
Yeah.
You could be like,
and then the defense can be like, "Okay, like, we'd like to add this statement," and then proceed per the instructions.
Yeah, the defense can be like, I'd like to cross-examine this, though you don't. The defendant rarely is a witness.
Yeah,
for obvious reasons. But
yeah, you could just lie.
But yeah. Why? And don't bother interpreting that. He understands me.
So rude.
Machi, tell the truth. You can understand English, can't you?
What are you saying? Of course he can. Baba Booey.
Must he continue this charade?
Baba Booey. Mr. Justice, he says this. I know the word English.
Oh my god, that's the stupidest thing.
That's so dumb.
It's like, they said English. I know that one word.
Yeah, like...
Huh?
Like, yeah, like... Before coming to this country, he heard me speak English. You know the name for languages. Like, we still don't understand Borginian language well enough to even be able to read it. But, like, yeah, normally languages have names that you can recognize.
Oh, I mean,
Like-
the argument is in... They're saying English in English, not in Borginian.
But yeah,
But,
that's what I
like-
mean. Like, you can say Deutsch, and I'm like, oh, they're talking about German.
Oh, not Dutch.
Yeah, no, not Dutch.
Well, I would have thought
Deutsch is
so.
German. That's
But
why I
like
specifically said German.
Francois.
Yeah, Francois.
Espanol.
Espanol. Ego, right?
Lego.
English.
My ego.
Lego, my ego.
Dark Data, I want to take a moment to point out the Machi's giant metal necklace thing. Yeah, that is really crazy looking.
It's the Tetraforce.
I just said to tell them I didn't speak or recognize the word for it. What?
Yeah, that's probably like the first word that you learn when you don't speak English. It's like, this is what English. This is the
Ingles.
name for the language you don't speak. So, like, you see it all the time. People are like, no English. No English. It's like,
Yeah, you know how many, like, I think a vast majority of people in the country that we live in can say
dox
no
ourselves.
no Espanol without knowing
Right?
any other Spanish.
Yeah, you don't need to know Spanish to know the Spanish
or
word
no
for Spanish is
no
Español.
hablo español, or at least no español.
Yeah. No
Like,
Espanol. Yeah, you
If
hear
it's
it
a
all the
language,
time.
if you're gonna hear the language enough, you will know the name of the language in its
Yeah.
language.
Yeah.
Especially because he would constantly be hearing people say in front of him, he doesn't speak English. Like,
Yeah.
even without being told, he should be, like, pick up on, oh, this is probably that language I don't know. Because,
Yeah.
anyways,
Yeah, especially if you like hear it enough times, like, do you speak English? Do you speak English?
the fact that he got shifty-eyed when they said English is weird. So,
Yeah, it's such a weak, it's so weak
what?
argument.
Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
I could
Not
destroy a
sponsored,
Kit
but
Kat
willing
bar
to
right
be.
now. I know, Kit Kat, reach out.
Yeah, listen, I've had lots of Kit Kat flavors. I can vest for you.
Listen,
But I won't unless you-
I'll even talk smack about Reese's. Like, I love Reese's cups, but like, if Kit Kat tells me to slander them, I don't care.
Kit Kat, if you're watching this, and you want to sponsor me, I will be willing to settle for being paid with a bag of different types of Kit Kats every month. No cash. Just send me a
fun. Yeah.
different bag of Kit Kats
Just
every
a chaos
month.
batch of Kit Kat. It's like, oh, this is the batch between drums when we make a new flavor.
Oh, that's not what I
and
meant. I meant just like the various Kit Kats flavors that exist.
Oh, yeah.
Just pay me
I
in a
think that's
bag of
fine,
Kit
too.
Kats every month. That I would, for that, you could sponsor me. That's all you had to pay. It's very cheap.
It is very cheap.
Dangerous road to go down. Dark Data, no, I'm not doing this to have a full-time job. I don't need to make money off it. Kit Kats are plenty.
Yeah. Could you imagine you become an extremely successful streamer and people are like, oh, he must be a millionaire, and all of your sponsorships are just for the product that you're sponsoring?
Well, I've already thought of that. I've been like, I would be 100% willing to be perpetually sponsored by HelloFresh just to have my HelloFreshes for free and nothing else. No.
I mean, that's a substantial amount of money.
I guess. But it's $70 a week, I guess. So yeah, but still.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, it's like what, $340 a month, $380 a month,
$280.
Yeah, that's not a bad sponsorship deal.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be fine being paid in products at this point in my juncture.
Is that such an unusual word to understand?
You paid in chocolate for health? I mean, a bag of Kit Kats a month isn't gonna hurt me. Plus, I'd probably share anyways.
Yeah. You take it to your job,
Which would be even better sponsorship.
You're a queen. You're a queen, Lamorar. Do you not know Espanol, for instance?
No, I don't know Korean.
Korean is would be hard because like Korean and Korean, right? It's like two languages.
Korean
like
and Spanish.
Yeah.
Well,
Korean and Spanish are just Coreano, but yeah.
Oh,
like don't ask me how to say Korean in Korean.
I want to name a character that. That's a cool name.
Koreano. Yeah, I mean, I like coriander as a character name.
Coriander.
Yeah, and that's similar. It's like a vibe.
It's my favorite Disney Channel original show, Coriander in the House.
Coriander House. Coriander House.
Well, yeah, but
I am sorry, but he truly does not understand your language.
Well, then explain this. How does he know the crime followed the lyrics?
Have you always been such a suspicious-minded lad?
No, it started when I was about 6, but...
It is simple. So simple it hardly requires an explanation. He read about it in the newspaper.
What newspaper? I doubt there's Virginian newspapers cycling now of a crime that
100%.
happened 2 days ago.
No, there is. We literally have it in our court records.
Really?
That was a plot point.
Not that.
No, not that one. That one.
Is that about the...
Yeah.
Oh, dang it.
It doesn't mention the lyrics of the ballad, though, so, it's still valid. But there is a newspaper talking about the murder.
Well, in fact, more so. Why would he read about the lyrics?
Yeah. Well, no, that's kind of the point. We have to, show that as, a contradiction.
The newspaper?
The Virginian Daily Bugle. You can buy it in this country these days,
I doubt that. First of all, that'd be like the Spain newspaper. That's the entire country.
Yeah, a country doesn't have one newspaper.
Yeah, a national newspaper.
Yeah.
And for that matter, you can't just easily get small Northern European country newspapers in either Japan or Fornia.
Either Japan or Fornia. They have already begun to report about this case in our homeland.
I was right.
What is wrong, Mr. Justice? Your eyes, they are quite fierce all of a sudden.
Machi is lying. Maybe it's time to show them proof that he's lying. The badge? Oh. The replica. Let's just pull out a illegal contraband in the middle of the trial.
He's lying because of incuritis. What?
I have here a Borginian newspaper, the Borginian Daily Bugle, as a matter of fact, the official newspaper of Borginia, published by the government itself, the only news source.
Published by the government of Borginia.
Indeed, there's a feature article about the case. Oh, wow, we could hear that.
Yeah, no, I not to dox myself, but I always I always tell you when it's happening, and the one time I don't tell you is the one time you can actually hear it.
Heard it a little while ago too.
Yeah.
Could you read this for me, Machi? That's right, it doesn't mention the lyrics. No, he's just like, no, I don't know how to read.
Yeah, he says that in perfect English. Oh, you misunderstood me. I said that I can't read English, not that I can't speak and understand it. Simple misconception.
I meant to say I can't read any language, but I can speak every language.
What? What is this all about?
I'm sorry, Machi. You couldn't have read about the lyrics in a Virginian newspaper because newspapers don't publish song lyrics. It's not a thing anywhere.
Newspapers.
Period.
Period.
Everybody dance now. I don't know why I picked that. I couldn't think. It was too quick. And there was the funky colors.
What does this mean?
But I don't see how it's possible. I know. He must have heard the lyrics and the police were doing that questioning, yes.
Heard them in English? That doesn't mean he knows what they mean.
Yeah.
These lies are getting dumber.
Not possible. The subject of the lyrics was not brought up in police questioning. I've read the full report myself.
So the lyrics weren't in the newspaper and the police didn't mention them. The only place you could have heard them was in this courtroom. In English, no less.
The witness will explain herself, or himself.
Machi says. He says.
Yes?
It is true, I read the newspaper. But this is not where I learned of the lyrics. I was mistaken.
Did he say he learned? I thought she said maybe he learned from the newspaper. Maybe he did. Maybe, I don't know. Oh no, he told her, I guess. Okay.
No, I remember.
You remember?
He says he heard of the lyrics from me.
What? You literally just testified that you never told him the lyrics, just what the song was about.
Is this true, Lamroar?
Yes, I am afraid I have forgotten it myself. Then it looks like Ethel has been jumped into conclusions again.
Then it looks like this witness just committed perjury.
Then it looks like my witness is still innocent.
It seems so, yes.
Oops. We win, I guess. Shucks.
No. I was onto something. I know it. I can't let this chance slip away.
Time is an issue today. Mr. Justice, are you finished with the cross-examination?
What are you gonna do, Apollo?
If I'm going to keep on cross-examining, I'd better have an angle of attack. Or else.
Or else.
My bracelet's still reacting. Your Honor, please allow me to continue.
Sirens are gonna start again.
The siren's right here. We're talking to her.
Huh.
If you must, you must. Very well, witness.
I understand. It was I who explained the crime followed the song, so we gotta perceive her. Such jank.
Here again, because I don't know if we missed at the start. No.
Explore the face, I guess.
Where else on the
We
face?
already saw the face and literally nothing happened. She was
we
using
see
the shining
hands?
to communicate. Wasn't it her throat last time? Well, I think I just saw it pulsate. Dark Data's right.
Yeah, it's the Virginian throat singing.
Gulp. Gulp.
What the heck?
Gulp.
That looks so weird.
Gulp. Gulp.
Lamorar, I'm currently cross-examining Machi. Why should you be uncertain?
Me uncertain.
Oh, I don't
Because
really
I was
understand.
reminded of something I
Virginian.
didn't. Like literally, I don't get it.
Yes, you swallowed the very moment you told the court.
I bet she did.
Every time she swallows, she's lying or uncertain or something.
Hey, you know, if you know, you know. That's all I'm saying. If you know, you know.
It was I who explained.
I see there's little point in trying to hide anything from you.
Lamorar, are you indeed protecting someone?
That is not a question with a simple answer.
Then give me the complex answer.
To tell the truth, I do not believe in myself.
Then allow me to answer for you. Lamorar, you're protecting... Can we save? We can't save.
Me, Apollo Justice.
We're not an option.
Yeah, who else would it be? It's Machi, but like I don't know, is it
Latus,
like
Machi,
it's Machi.
Valen,
Why would she be-
Grammary.
There's nobody else that she's protecting by just going along with what
Herself?
Machi's saying. But it'd be funny if there was an achievement.
She could be protecting herself.
She's protecting.
Do you think Machi? Okay.
Yeah, it is Machi. It's not even. I think I know it's Machi.
Lamorar, you're protecting Machi. That's why you lied and told us that you had explained how the crime followed the song. Honestly, I would have second-guessed Machi because it seemed too obvious at this point of the case.
Yeah.
I don't fault you for trying to help, but this is not the way. Do you know the way?
McQueen.
Machi, I believe you didn't do it, really. I trust you. But you've lied to us twice, and now I no longer trust you. And now you have Lamorar lying on your behalf. If this is going to work, you have to trust me, too. No way. Your two lies cover a simple truth. You understand English, you have to. Egg!
Did he just scream in English? Oh.
Witness, is this true? Do you understand English? I understood that scream.
I understood that.
Yes, a little only.
You got a
What?
little floppy dress. I love it. first he could see, now he can talk.
Next he will be an adult, pretending to be a child. Next he will be a 1,000-year-old dragon.
Terrible. The implications of your statement are terrible. And you did not know about this, Lemuel? No, I did not. It is quite a surprise.
How many secrets is this witness hiding?
This is last. Machi, could you tell us what really happened? No shooting. I did no shooting. So you weren't in the dressing room when I heard those two gunshots, correct?
I mean,
What?
he didn't say no. But he also didn't say yes. Apparently, the answer to that question isn't simple either.
Or he didn't fully understand the question. He said he understands a little. Like, you're throwing kind of complicated sentences at somebody that's...
Yeah, you
Might not be
weren't
very good
in the
with-
room when I heard.
You're in the
Like,
dressing
that's a-
room when
that's
I
a
heard the
switch in
two
subjects
gunshots, correct?
mid-sentence. That's not typically the kind of sentence you'd want to say to somebody who barely knows the language.
Yeah, they're acting like now that they know he understands some English, that they can just talk to him freely and he's going to understand everything going on.
Yeah. It's like, no. It's like,
I was in dressing room, behind desk, manager, he on floor. Which would be after the shooting, right? Then there is voice.
voice or voices? Was it you and Emma, Apollo?
So when Machi went into the dressing room, Mr. Latouche had already been shot. And then we came to the door. Panel high up, I take off. Run away, run away. So it was you who escaped through that air vent.
As the prosecution has upheld all along, no less. The defendant has admitted to being at the scene. Might we take this as a confession?
No. No, you cannot take that as a confession. That doesn't say he did the crime. That's suspicious and incriminating, but that's not a confession. No, he clearly denied that he did it. I know shooting. Manager on floor. Already on floor.
The victim has already been shot, you say? I find that hard to believe.
Maybe that's why it took him 30 minutes to die, and yet he died right when I got there.
The defendant understood the song lyrics. He was at the scene of the crime. This can only mean one thing. He is the shooter.
Does the defendant have anything to say to this?
He's clammed up, Apollo.
Let's ask Mr. Justice. Will you require any further testimony from the witness?
Is that it? Is there nothing else I can get him to testify about? Wait, no, of course there is.
What is this cocoon, anyway?
Oh god. Poyo!
Oh, the cocoon, the silk, it's a potent cure. A cure? Well, Machi, are you a smuggler?
Charmander, Char!
I appreciate your commitment to remembering all these bits.
I mean, I might not necessarily have the right one in the right place, but...
Squirtle!
that was definitely not one you ever did.
It's not, but, you know, I just want to feel like I belong. He won't tell me.
That cocoon has to have something to do with this. Machi, please tell us the truth for your own sake.
Saki.
No, no more speak. Not to any of you.
So much for your precious trust, Everhead.
Hey, you were the one who didn't believe him.
Regardless, this brings us to an impasse.
It does seem that the defense and defendant are at odds. I doubt we are likely to learn anything more of value should this continue. I see no other course but to declare a 5-minute recess. The defense will work things out with the defendants, that we might proceed.
Wow, that's very generous for this game. I would expect them to be like, oh, well, you're at an impasse, so we're just going to declare a verdict now then.
Womp womp.
Apollo Eustace. That's justice. Better learn how to say it if you ever want to get some. Believe I know shooting.
If you want to get some.
It's okay, because he's a secretly 1,000-year-old dragon, so... Machi claims Mr. Latouche was already down on the ground when he entered the room.
Maybe it was a trap and he walked right into it?
Suddenly, I hear revolver. Close. Very close. Then I hear voice. You heard gunshots? Yes, it's true. I hear revolver, but only sound. Wait, you're saying you went into the dressing room and found Mr. Latouche already dead and then you heard shots? That's true.
So you were at the scene of the crime when you heard those gunshots?
And you escaped through the air vent. I know.
Huh? What do you know?
I know what you said. What? I know if I opening vent, I can leave stage and backstage. So the vents went to both the stage and the backstage area. Is that what he means?
Hey, he's right. Look, Apollo.
Huh? Yeah. But how did he know it was connected like that? Why does our... Do we have this picture? No, we don't. Yeah, we do. Oh, okay. I thought that showing the diagram had the vent shown on the diagram because that just pretty weird to me. Okay, they're just saying. Wait. But what do they mean? Look at what? What are we looking at? Huh?
The tunnel?
Yeah, but what are Apollo and
connected?
Trucy looking at? What is this image? Like, this isn't the image we have. Not that. Oops. Because the image we have doesn't have that vent.
Yeah.
But they're saying, look, see, the vent's connected. What are we looking at that shows it's connected?
Wait, I bet his father was the architect that designed the hall or something.
Why? He's from Virginia. I hear this from magician. Magician?
Don't look at me.
A magician, huh?
But at least we're clear on one thing. Machi didn't shoot Monsieur Latouche.
Yeah, but what does that leave us with? Have a good night, Dark Data. We're supposed to say he went into the room to find the body and then he heard the shots? That one's going to go over well, Court. Not. That was a very 90s thing to say.
Apollo, you're his defense. You're supposed to believe whatever he says, even lies.
Oh yeah, I'm his defense. Not.
Well, he's rubber, now I'm glue. That's what Daddy always told me.
That he's rubber and you're glue? I'll just pretend you misheard him every time. Wait, what is it? I'm supposed to believe what he says, even lies. Oh. So, what do we do?
You sure you won't testify, Machi?
No talking. No.
Well, it was worth a shot.
That cocoon. Pikachu.
I can't go home. I do actively believe that Pikachu is constantly saying, I can't go home.
Oh god. I don't remember. Yoshi!
I can't go home to Virginia. I do not want to go home. The penalty for taking a cocoon from Virginia is death.
That's right, it's punishable by death. Of course, he's scared. Oh well, I guess we'll just have to try a different approach.
Womp womp. That's the spirit, Apollo. So, what's your plan?
I mean, honestly, you should be trying a different approach anyways, because it's very dangerous to have your client on the stand talking.
I mean, anything they say or do can and will be used against them.
Yeah, it's you kind of don't want them. They're liable for anything they say. You kind of just want to keep them off the stand unless you have to. If Machi won't testify about it, then we'll have to get someone else to testify.
Someone else?
I think we're out of time. Let's get back in there.
Right.
July 10th, 11:28 a.m.
Court is now back in session. Mr. Justice, have you sorted things out with the defendant?
Yes, Your Honor. We had a good talk. Wink.
Wink.
Very well. So will he testify?
Your Honor, the defendant will testify. Not.
I can't.
What? I haven't heard that in like 3 decades.
Flabbergasted German ellipses. Shame. And here I thought this was your big chance to turn the case around.
Actually, it is. The defense would like to approach this case from a different angle, Your Honor.
A different angel.
Angel?
Or a devil. I make the worst jokes.
That's pretty bad.
If Machi won't testify, then I know who will. I would like to cross-examine the witness in this case, Lamaror.
Lamaror? But she's done testifying like 90% of this entire case.
What are you up to now? I thought we determined yesterday that Lamaror's testimony was insubstantial.
Oh. You missed the line.
There's nothing you can...
Lamaror was taken to the hospital yesterday with injuries.
What happened? Was it enteritis?
She was assaulted, Your Honor.
Assaulted? By enteritis?
Someone wanted Lamaror dead. Thankfully, she was able to save herself.
What? I've heard no such report.
Prosecutor Gavin. Why would anyone be out to kill Lamaror? Can you think of a reason?
Well...
Think of how she is known in our country. A singer from overseas who doesn't speak English, yes? Yet someone tried to keep her mouth shut.
Womp womp.
Who could that have been?
You don't think.
I do think. It was the same
I do.
person who shot Mr. Latouche.
I do think.
The killer was afraid
Therefore
of her.
I am.
Oh, I'm not. The killer was afraid of her, afraid of what she might say. The defense believes that something was hidden in her testimony yesterday. Something that the killer doesn't want getting out.
So I am to understand that this is what you are saying. Namely that there is a nugget of truth in Larry Moore's testimony. A nugget we have yet to uncover.
Exactly.
Flammer was attacked. This has serious implications. Very well. There were some vague points in her testimony during yesterday's trial. Perhaps we did not inquire as deeply as we might have into some. The court will hear Lamour's testimony once more.
Larry Moore, I must apologize. We must ask you to stand again and speak. You do not need to apologize. I know that Machi is innocent. And I will do all I can until the court realizes this.
Let's review your testimony from yesterday. You told us you heard 2 gunshots in the shooter's voice through the window. And that the voice belonged to Daryan Crescend, yes?
That is correct. At which point I proved she could not be correct. She couldn't have heard any of those things. The small window at the scene was closed and was found to be quite soundproof.
You have nothing to say to that, Mr. Justice?
I don't know exactly what yet, but I do know there's something there.
There is, it seems, much you do not know.
And yet it is my duty to hear him out. Perhaps the witness would be so kind as to testify once more to the court.
Of course, Your Honor. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. That's when I heard them, Mr. Latouche and the detective. I heard the faint sound of a gunshot and stopped. Then I heard another gunshot. There was the smell of gunpowder. I knew I must tell someone, but I was in a hurry, so I kept moving past the small window.
Pretty much the same as yesterday's testimony.
I am sorry. I am not used to speaking much in this language. Perhaps my descriptions are lacking in some way. Yet everything I have said here is the truth. Then it is my distinct displeasure to say this. What you have said to have happened is impossible.
Do I have to repeat myself? Lamoror was attacked because of this testimony. What, Trucy?
Apollo, for a moment there, you were pretty cool.
Maybe I do better when I don't try to think ahead.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Perhaps you can coolly cross-examine the witness.
Is something wrong?
I know I said hold it, but she's saying the same thing she said before.
Mr. Justice?
Sorry, it's nothing. Please continue the testimony.
Now I know what they mean about the reckless youth these days.
The one in red over there is a shining example, Judge.
You're the last person who should be pointing fingers, Mr. Rockstar. Is that going to do that for everything? Daryan Crescend.
I did not know his name at the time. But yes, it was him, the one who took the stand yesterday. How many times do I need to remind you that's impossible? There's no way you could have had him.
Because the window at the scene was closed? Is that why?
Of course. Paula, if we keep asking the same questions as yesterday, we won't get anywhere.
She's right. Maybe there's a different angel I can try.
What were they talking about?
Lamoror, do you by any chance remember what they were saying to each other? If so, please tell us.
I have given it much reflection, but
I was afraid of this. She doesn't remember.
I only heard one phrase clearly.
A whole phrase?
A whole phrase? You remember? Why is he sweating?
It's hot.
Like the fact that he, as far as we're concerned, he has indicated that he doesn't believe that she could have heard anything. So why, if he's sweating, is indicating that he thinks that the fact that she's saying she heard something is true?
Maybe he's just hot.
Weird. I guess so. You remember something that was said?
Yes, he said Rosebud.
And internet historians for millennia to come will overanalyze that one scene.
And why did you say anything yesterday?
Though my memory is clear, I was afraid to speak. You see, I do not understand what was said.
This could be it, the clue I've been waiting for. Well, what did he say?
It was the other man speaking, not Mr. Lettuce.
The shooter, then. Daryan Crescend. We're taking a long time to say it.
Well, what did he say?
Ellipses. It's over. Press the switch. Now.
I did the snap, but I don't know if you heard.
Switch! And the shooter said this to the victim, Mr. Lettuce.
I thought it quite strange myself afterwards.
It's a mystery. What could it possibly mean? Mr. Justice, care to shed some light on this?
I mean, sure, I'd be delighted. It's, very, very vital. Maybe we could add that to the testimony.
Maybe, Apollo?
Do you want to press something? Or do we still want to press, or do we want to present something?
I mean, I wouldn't know what this is making us do.
Do we have anything?
I mean, I know what the switch is, but like, is that what we're supposed to be pressing?
This switch?
Because it's like to burn the guitar.
Up to you. I don't know if it is. We could press, we could present, we could...
I mean, save and then present it, because I think that's what it is.
I think it's the only switch we have, though, so...
Yeah. Objection. Take that.
Press the switch. There's only one key that can unlock the mystery of those words.
Oh? Yet there was nothing at the scene that could be called a switch, save the light.
Actually, there was. It was this handheld gaming system. I took it with me. It's both portable and can be played on television. True, there wasn't a switch at the scene. But it just so happens I have a switch right here.
That certainly does look like a switch, doesn't it?
The problem is, this was found not at the scene of the crime, but on the stage.
The stage?
Where the concert was held, yes. This was found hidden there.
He's switching. On the stage.
It bugs me that his snapping isn't to the rhythm of the music. I know there's no reason it should be, but it bugs me.
Are you claiming that the voice Lamar heard was of someone commanding another to press this switch?
It's a possibility. So I could make a different joke about pressing a switch, but like I'm not gonna go there.
Oh, if I had, I'd call that an impossibility.
Why?
It's highly necessary for me to remind the court of the layout of the concert forum. The stage is quite far from Larimor's dressing room. Not to mention the Gaviniers were in the middle of a concert on said stage. We aren't known for being a quiet band. You could shout all you wanted and not be heard. The detective's voice was loud, but certainly not a shout. So do have Airforehead's cries of possibility falling far short from being heard.
Sorry. But he wouldn't have needed to shout.
Excuse me?
You heard what I said. Or do you need me to shout it out for you?
Bleh.
It would have been quite simple to be heard on the stage of that dressing room. Oh wait, you like evidence, don't you? How about this? Using this, it would be easy to get a message to someone on the stage from the dressing room.
The headset?
The revolver.
Just blang blang.
Oh no, you just
code.
no, you just like rolled up a message, a note into it and just fire it out, Looney Tunes style.
Yeah.
Prosecutor Gavin, perhaps you're familiar with this?
But why that's
What is it? Is that some kind of newfangled phone they invented while I wasn't looking?
God. This is a type of transmitter, a communications device.
Communications device?
What I've heard that night, everyone on stage was wearing one of these. Isn't that right, Prosecutor Gavin?
Yes, actually. They're for talking between band members. We all had one on.
So you admit that if you were wearing one of these, talking from the backstage to the stage would be simple.
True, but wait. Those send out an electronic signal. To avoid interference with the audio system, the range is quite limited. Larimore said it was about 30 feet, right?
Look at this cross-section diagram. Look at this cross-section diagram of the concert forum. God, that doesn't work really well.
Every time I see it, it makes me question the concert forum.
Exactly. The walk from the stage to the backstage seems far, but the direct distance is less than 30 feet.
That it can't be.
So when Lamar heard the shooter's voice, he could have been talking to someone on stage.
Ha! You're claiming this is the switch in question. Why did it have to be on the stage at the time? It could be placed in a pocket and carried anywhere. Someone could have hit it on the stage after the fact. He's got a point. How do we know where it was when she heard the voice? But the shooter said press the switch.
Well, I guess we don't.
An unfortunate situation. Afraid that until we know where the switch was, there's little point in debating it.
Ugh. I was sure this was the way to go with this.
What is this switch anyway? We don't even know that basic fact.
Oh, when you press it, it sets your guitar on fire. Wait a second. I do know what this switch is. And if you follow that train of logic to its incredible conclusion, it ends up in proof that completely changes this case.
What's up, Apollo? Apollo?
We know about this switch, right? We know what that is.
Yeah?
Well, think of when it was used that day. Think of what happened.
Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no further information to share with us concerning this switch.
Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Justice?
I've been remiss in not telling the court this before. I know what this switch is.
Well, it seems the defense is set upon linking the switch to the case. Let's see your evidence of the link. What evidence do you have to explain what this switch is?
What the switch is?
It would be that, right?
Yeah, the igniter, right?
This is really dumb because they should just be like, what does a switch do? Rather than, what evidence do you have to explain what this is? Prosecutor Gavin, you remember this?
That.
What? Is it another one of those newfangled phones?
Oh my god. Not everything's a phone.
Not everything's been a phone.
This is an igniter. What phone looks like this?
Igniter? You mean it's like a lighter?
Yes, actually.
You aren't saying this switch is a remote?
I am. This is a remote trigger for an igniter.
What?
Look, I'll show you. Let me put this on the judge's stand and...
Mr. Justice, you'll cease and desist from burning down this courtroom.
He really did.
I didn't know that was going to happen, but I'm glad it did. Sorry, that was a bit more fire than I'd expected.
My whiskers had caught on fire.
Prosecutor Gavin, let me repeat myself. This switch is a remote igniter trigger. Doesn't that suggest something to you?
You're talking about what happened to me, aren't you? Ah.
Exactly. That night at the concert, there was one unusual burst of flame. And two usual ones. When your guitar caught fire in the middle of your performance, oh my goodness.
Wasn't that part of the stage show, though?
Prosecutor Gavin was entirely unaware such a thing had been planned. And the guitar that burned was a valuable keepsake.
That's right. He got it in Virginia from Lamaror. He said the sound was amazing before it burned, of course. Now it's just kind of smokes. The better the guitar, the brighter it burns. Forehead.
Yes?
Don't tell me you're trying to tie these two things together. Those being the shooter's voice heard by Lamaror, and the guitar suddenly catching on fire.
I am. It's really simple when you think about it. Mr. Latouche and the shooter were at the crime scene. The shooter was wearing a headset. He ordered someone on stage to press the switch. The switch was pressed and the guitar caught fire.
Well, it does seem to make sense. There's something about it is bugging me. Can't quite put my finger on it.
Really? It seems pretty simple to me.
Forehead, don't disturb what little respect I have for you.
Hmm?
I was expecting something a little more sensible. Guess I was wrong.
What's this all about, Prosecutor Gavin?
His simple story makes no sense.
Simply makes no sense.
His simple story simply makes no sense. Think, that night my guitar caught fire, yes. The cause may have been this indeed. However, the guitar caught fire during the second set. That's right, of course. The guitar caught on fire. Something. The guitar caught on fire during Lemurar's song. Indeed, yet the shooting happened during the third set. The two are utterly unrelated.
Yes, that must have been what was bugging me. The whole premise for this is faulty.
See? His story makes no sense.
Are you sure about that?
What exactly do you mean, Mr. Justice?
Maybe it's not the premise for my explanation of the switch that's at fault. Maybe it's our premise for the case so far.
What premise is this specifically?
I'm glad you asked. I'm saying that maybe the killing didn't take place in the third act.
What's this? But Detective Emma Sky heard shots and found the body. All of this happened in the third act.
Gunshots rang out, and according to his testimony, Machi was in that dressing room at the time.
Where are you going with this, Mr. Justice?
Stay with me, Your Honor. He also told us this in his testimony, namely that the victim had already been shot. We all heard gunshots, but no one saw the shooting.
This is insane.
Just before the shooting took place, the shooter was heard on his headset, telling someone to press the switch. The next moment, Prosecutor Gavin's guitar burst into flame. We know that a remote trigger igniter was inside the guitar. From all these facts, we can draw only one conclusion. The crime did not take place during the third act, but during the ballad performance, the second act.
What?
Order. But that goes against the evidence.
What does, Your Honor?
The crime was carried out according to the lyrics of the song, yes?
Hey, he's right, look. The bullet's supposed to come after the fire.
This is the dumbest point to be stuck on. Like, why does it have to follow the song?
Yeah.
You're thinking about it the wrong way.
Huh?
Look, why would the shooter craft the events of the day to follow the lyrics anyway? Exactly! It's an awful lot of trouble to go through, with little merit for the person doing it.
I'm sure whoever it was had some reason.
Yes,
Yeah.
they did.
To make you think that it happened in that order so they have an alibi.
I guess. That's a very dumb way to make an alibi, too, though.
It is.
A reason that made it advantageous to follow the lyrics.
You're saying the order was reversed on purpose.
Reversed, Prosecutor Gavin.
If the criminal followed the lyrics strictly, then yes. The shooting would have had to come after the guitar burst into flames. Yet, Forehead has raised another possibility. He's claiming that the bullet came not after, but just before the fire.
Couldn't have put it better myself. We were only meant to think that the shooting came after the guitar burst into flame. That was the criminal's objective. The crime followed the lyrics to a point, but that was the ruse. Why else would the killer risk discovery by moving the body? That was the final touch to make us think he'd follow the lyrics the whole way.
Order, order, order! That would explain this most unusual situation.
It does. The killer changed the order of events to create himself an alibi. In other words, the killer was someone who had an alibi for the third set, but not the second.
I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but sadly it has. Let me tell you why your little fairy tale makes no sense at all. Oh, it sounds good, I'll give you that. You've given us a reason why the killer bothered following the lyrics of my song. But I question your logic. For it's flawed from the very beginning.
Flawed?
Yes, a contradiction aforehead, one I've pointed out several times, no less. At the time of the crime, the small window at the scene was closed. How could Larimore have heard a voice through it?
Oh.
I know that you would like to divert our attention from this critical fact. But you're basing your entire line of reasoning on a false premise.
Right. Lamore's testimony is my entire case. That voice she heard, the shooter's voice.
What if she couldn't hear it, Apollo?
Look, what do we have? A man saying press the switch. And near the crime scene we have a switch, which acts as a remote trigger for an igniter. And last but not least, Prosecutor Gavin's flaming guitar. Can't all be coincidence, but how do I make it work?
I see a more direct line of questioning is required. When the crime scene was investigated immediately after the crime, that window was closed. Care to tell us how Lamoureux heard the voice?
A key point to be sure. Mr. Justice, can you explain this to the court?
Okay, Justice, you've got one thing to prove and one thing only. Lamoureux heard a voice. And she heard it during the second set. Think, how is Lamoureux able to hear the voice?
She was somewhere else.
You don't think she has divine hearing?
I mean, I would love for that to be the case, because that wouldn't be far-fetched in this universe. We have a person who literally is possessed by spirits whenever they want, so...
I mean, also many times when they don't want, but sure.
Yeah.
When we investigated the scene, the window was closed. The shooter had no reason to close it, had it been open either. Meaning it was impossible to hear the voice through that window.
It's good to hear you making sense again. For a moment, I was afraid you might be a Virginian too.
Wow! Was that just super racist?
I think so, but I think the subtext is that they don't make sense because they're not speaking English.
That's not much better.
It's not much better, but I don't think he means that all Virginians are liars.
No, it sounded to
I
me
think
like he was saying all Virginians just don't make sense.
Yeah. Like, I think what he's trying to say is that in this case, we didn't understand Virginian. So he's implying that Apollo might as well have been speaking Virginian this entire time.
I don't know. His wording is bad enough that I feel Clavier could get canceled.
Clavier would have definitely gotten canceled for this. But Clavier would have gotten canceled for more than that, let me tell you.
As I was saying, Lamoureux could not hear the voice through that window. So there can be only one explanation. She heard the voice from another location entirely.
Like, I mean, obviously most prosecutors fall victim to this. But, like, he definitely should be getting, like, either warnings or kicked out for, like, all the nicknames and all the belittling that he's doing to the other side. Like, that's, like...
I mean...
essentially, like...
The defense attorneys kind of do that, too. Not nicknames.
Well, yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, it's like you're belittling the other person for no real reason. Like, that's not related to court.
It seems to be allowed on both sides, though. So
It shouldn't be allowed on either side.
yeah,
And the
but
prosecution is substantially worse. Like, don't start
I mean, Japan's laws.
whipping people, throwing hot coffee at people.
No, throwing a mug full of hot coffee. The mug was included.
Yeah, the mug was included, but it, second to third degree burns
And a concussion.
and a concussion, and they're still allowed to continue practicing. At that
Yeah,
point, they should have been kicked out.
I agree more.
I'm saying all of them do something like that to some degree. Von Zeke's drinking wine in the middle of a case, that's not appropriate.
And throwing wine glasses and wine bottles everywhere. And slamming his foot on the bench.
I mean, that's the best. Like, I have no notes for that one. That one's iconic, and I want everybody to bring that back.
I'm not sure if I told you that actually they were planning on having Godot do that, and it was a scrapped thing from Godot.
Oh, that would have been so good.
That they re-implemented for him.
Godot definitely would have slammed his foot on the table.
It would have felt even less out of place for Godot, because Godot said some pretty ridiculous things constantly.
Yeah.
And it was probably the brain damage, but I mean, let's not get into that.
Tragic. It was probably the brain damage.
I mean, canonically, he did.
You do amuse me so. And here I thought you and Good Sense were back on speaking terms. Now I'm afraid you and Good Sense speak two entirely different languages.
Rude.
Shall I interpret for you, Airforehead? Lemuroy clearly stated she had the voice through that small window. There is only one small window at the scene.
Are you sure?
Hmm?
Think about it. Isn't there another small window at the scene?
There is?
I know that look. He wants us to ask him. Very well, you claim Lamar heard the voice from another location. Mr. Justice, show us where this location was.
Lamar heard the voice here.
Go to the left.
Oh.
The vent. The vent. She's blind. It would have seemed like a small window to her.
She just wandered and got lost in the air ducts?
No, she literally, that's how she moved from one side of, that's the magic trick. What are you talking about? Like, do you generally not remember? You played this game. I haven't, but like, I've already figured that out like 20 hours ago.
You're saying, though, that she didn't realize that she was in an air vent.
No, she realized she was in an air vent, but like, she's blind. Like, what does it matter that it's an entrance versus a window in an air vent?
Because things have names for reasons?
Yeah, but she's blind. She wouldn't be able to know. Air was coming out of it. It was a window.
This is where Lamoror heard that voice from.
That's a small window. That's the air vent.
What did she tell us? She said she's a Borginian, unfamiliar with our language. So, as a Borginian, she didn't know what an air vent is.
She might have not known the word. Like, I keep calling, oh gosh, I already forgot. It's the kind of curtains that swallow the sun. I call them sun eaters, but that's not the word for it.
Curtains that swallow the sun?
Yeah, like it makes it real dark in your room.
Blackout curtains?
Yes. I always call them sun eaters. I forget that they're called blackout curtains.
That sounds so much more badass, though.
Listen, yeah, maybe, but that's what it, like, I'm not even joking. You can ask Outcry. Like, literally, that's been our entire relationship. We have blackout curtains in our room, and every time I ask him to pull them or open them, I tell him.
I'm viscerally upset because I wish now we were in the reality where those were called sun eaters.
Sun eaters, like, well, because in Spanish they're literally called light swallowers.
Okay.
Like that's the word for them in Spanish. So my brain is just like, well, they can't be light swallowers. That's a ridiculous name for a curtain. So sun eaters, you know. And this is not a bit. Hand to my heart, I am being 100% genuine. Like if English is not your native language, you'll forget weird words.
I think plenty of people who it is their native language forget weird words.
Yeah, so I truly believe that she might not know the word for her event.
One of my favorite meme things I've seen online numerous times is somebody that forgot what a stingray was called and called it a sea pancake.
A sea pancake. I like that. I thought it was going to be much worse.
No, it's great. It's
yeah.
beautiful.
Well, I was just like a Steve Irwin annihilator.
No. That's messed up just because of all of the stingrays that have lost their lives because of that.
Yeah, people are stupid. Like even Steve Irwin himself was like, it wasn't like the stingray's fault. Like it was just
he would never, no matter what. He knew that he would likely someday eventually. It was a high chance he'd lose his life to an animal, and he never wanted any animal to be held responsible for that.
Yeah, so, like 100%. Like
let alone an entire species.
Yeah. So, but you know, as a human species ourselves, we don't process things very critically half the time, i.e., our entire fear and demonization of sharks. We don't have to get into that either.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, a shark is technically more dangerous than a stingray. But
I mean, a stingray is a shark.
Well, you know what I mean.
I know. I was leading you into that specifically.
But yeah, stingrays are very, very sweet, passive creatures.
Majestic.
One of my favorite memories of the otherwise unfortunate SeaWorld was being able to feed the stingrays, and they're just so cool.
Otherwise unfortunate. Yeah.
And SeaWorld's problematic, but
yeah.
But getting to feed the
not to dox myself, but I've been to the one of the largest aquariums on the East Coast.
I know which one. I love that aquarium.
Yeah.
Been there once.
Yeah. I've been there a handful of times. And they do have a petting stingray section and stuff.
Yeah. They're really cool to pet. They're like really like muscular.
Yeah. I get what you're saying, yeah. And obviously they're cold because it's in the water.
And they're, at least when I fed them, they're like very curious. They'll like come up to the edges.
Mm-hmm.
The particular aquarium we're referring to also has manta rays. So.
Ooh.
But
yeah.
But you can't pet those. Well, I think you could dive in the tank.
Yeah, like you can pay fee. You can pay money to dive. Not to dox myself, but my brother has a diving license, and like you can pay to go diving with the animals in that aquarium.
Yeah, the manta rays and the whale sharks and the biggest tank. I saw
terrifying.
Someone
terrifying. It. You cannot pay me. You cannot pay me. Like you have to pay to do it. You cannot pay me.
I would pay to do it. I don't know if you have to know how to swim or not. I feel like
you need to have a scuba diving certificate.
Well, I mean, you can have an oxygen tank, so
you need to know how to scuba. Like you can't just shove an oxygen mask into your mouth and think that you know what you're doing, Buckaroo.
I know, but I can't do anything about it. I
mean, you can take lessons and slowly build up.
I've taken lessons many years of my life. It's just not going to happen. I just can't learn.
Yeah.
That's personal stuff that I don't want to get into on stream.
Trauma.
It's not trauma. It's medical stuff. But
medical.
HIPAA.
Trauma.
It's not a stretch to imagine she called this air vent a small window. Because Virginians are dumb.
Now you've done it. You've gone beyond ridiculous and into ludicrous.
The rapper?
Yeah.
My favorite rapper?
Lemmerov-
Ridiculous?
Ridiculous. Ridiculous should be a rapper name. So Lemura was up in the ventilation system listening to this man's voice?
That's the only logical explanation, yes.
Logical? I do not think this word means what you think it means, forehead.
They made the joke. Okay, what about it isn't logical?
Ha! It hardly mattered saying. Why would Lemura be in the ventilation system? Hiding like a rat. No offense intended to her, of course.
The explanation for that is simple, Prosecutor Cavid. Borginians are actually air genasi.
Ooh.
Aren't
Isn't
they,
it?
Lamour? What?
She's like, "Oh, you found me out!" And then she dissipates into a cloud of mist.
Blue mist.
Ooh.
A plume
and
of blue
miasma.
smoke. And
I
miasma.
mean, she is wearing blue. Gasp.
You have been listening to our discussion here, yes? Oh no, I
Yes.
zoned out.
Also, because you said air genasi, do you know why cloud giants are called cloud giants?
Is this a joke?
It's not 'cause they
or is
live
this
in
a
the clouds.
fact? Is this a joke or a fact?
No, it's a real fact.
A real fact.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were real.
In time, in like based on our current lore of Faerun.
I would assume it has something to do with their abilities.
No, it's because they're so big that they literally walk through clouds.
Okay.
That's literally why they're called cloud giants.
I've walked through a cloud. Yeah,
I mean, sure, but like I'm saying, like that's like a lot of people have a misconception that they live up in the clouds, and it's like they don't. They're just that big.
I wouldn't have assumed that. I mean, a storm giant doesn't live in storms.
Hill giants live on hills, though.
Yeah, we all live on hills. That doesn't mean anything.
I admit it had me quite confused since yesterday. Yes, the small window was closed. But why should that mean I could not hear through it? I fear our prosecutor himself needed an interpreter. Ah!
The problem here is words. Lamroar, this small window through which you heard the voice, was it up high on the ceiling of the room? Not low on a wall?
Yes, it was up on the ceiling. What? He's so mad. He has a guitar twang just for the occasion.
Order, order, I will have order! Witness, you will clarify this statement to the court.
Why was that fade to black necessary?
Yeah, I guess the fact that she thought a window was up in the ceiling was so controversial that the entire court just like started panicking.
And they had to do
Just
a
like
time
full
skip?
on pandemonium. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think they just like you have to get everybody in the seats to like calm down because they were like,
In the same courtroom where we cross-examined a parrot years ago, and there did not have to take time to... Like, really?
Listen, it seemed... It also doesn't even like lead to anything substantial that the gap in time would have merited. Like, we're right back to where that gap in time stopped us. Like, there was no story progression that was merited through that gap. The only thing I can think of is maybe Gavin is not as flustered because he had time to process, but like, we'll see.
Are you in fact saying that you were up above the ceiling of the room? And that's where you heard the moment of the crime?
Yes, in fact, I was.
But it can't have been that long of a gap anyways, because the judge... It's not like saying, so before, were you saying this? No, it says, are
Yeah.
you in fact saying?
Yeah, literally is like, it was like a 30-second gap of time when he said, I will have order. It's just like, everybody was like, just quieting down after he said that.
It just... The fade to black was unnecessary.
Completely. I am sorry. I never imagined it would become such an important point.
Yes, well, why the heck were you up there?
I cannot say.
I believe it's time for another testimony.
I'm not sure I can.
May I remind you that this is a murder trial. We'll hear your testimony. Tell us
But
why.
I pinky promised.
Well, we can remove your pinkies. Tell us why you witnessed the crime from above the ceiling of that room.
Is that the subtext to a pinky promise? That if you break it, you lose your pinkies?
No, I think pinky promises are stored in the pinkies, so when you remove them, then all the promises come out.
Oh, they all leak out of the pinky?
Yeah.
The pinky?
If you ever want to know somebody's secrets, just cut off their pinkies, and you'll know everything.
Oh, okay. Somebody tell that to Yakuza, the character from the hit TV and video game series Like a Dragon.
That's how truth serums work. They actually just numb your pinkies. So
They numb your pinkies. They put tiny little holes in your pinky so they slowly leak out.
Please.
well, looks like I'm on the right track. Ready for either her to say nothing or completely lie and say she saw nothing or wasn't there or something.
Oh, yes, I was above the sea. What pose is that?
She's in an air vent.
Full on Igor from Frankenstein. Like, hunched over.
No, I think her knees, where her hands are, like, I think that's her knees. I think she's on her hands and knees.
Can you hide? I've seen you, theoretically, in other games, hide that screen. Is there any way you could do that?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's a way to.
Key config to read the options?
That's just buttons.
I'm saying like there might be an option that says hide.
I don't think
hide
so.
Text window. It's C. Hide text window C.
Yeah, but I'm using a controller.
You can't press the C key on your computer?
Yeah, that did nothing.
That did nothing.
That did
You
nothing
lied.
but switch it to button controls or keyboard controls.
Well, luckily it figured it out quickly and switched back.
Oh yeah, I pressed the control stick. I think she's
yes, I was above.
Sorry.
You think she's crawling?
Yeah, I think she's crawling.
I think she's hunched over and walking.
No, because you could see the bottom of the grate, and it's not much lower than her hand.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to look up this image later and like try to like draw out the proportions.
It said it's show hide text window control guide. Why is there no?
Just increase the transparency of the text box.
Yeah, you could see the bottom right there, right? Not far below her hand.
This is such a weirdly posed, like.
She's just crawling.
Action.
She's just Metal Gear Solid. Dun, 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 dun.
I don't see it.
I assume you crawl through vents in Metal Gear Solid.
I don't see it, but we'll continue. Also, these are really big vents.
I'm worried it might be kind of harder to see if we leave that on high.
Yes, I was above the ceiling when I heard the voice. I heard there was a small window there before. It was in the middle of my performance. I had no time to report what I heard. As to why I was there, I cannot say. I am bound to secrecy on this matter. I pinky promised, as I said.
Bound to secrecy? Bailiff, come break her pinkies.
In my line of work, one has many obligations to uphold.
But you say you were in the middle of your performance. So this did happen during the second set.
Do you really think that Gavin was not instructed on how the transition would have worked?
No,
like,
what's his name? Valent said straight up that as few people as possible could know this.
I just feel like that would be a danger to the cast for to not be all aware of what's going to happen.
I think they were aware that she was gonna a trick was gonna make her disappear one spot and appear another. I think they just weren't telling them how.
Yeah. There's just so many things that could go wrong with like some of these advanced magic tricks. Like somebody could be standing on the vent so she can't come out, you know?
Yeah,
Like
Valence supposedly though is so worldly famous that probably he could contract that all to be kept to only minimum people.
yeah,
Stuff to
I
keep
believe
his
it. Like
secrets.
I'm not arguing with it as much severity as I was with my sun swallowers. But
I didn't argue against you with the sun swallowers.
no, I know. I'm saying that compared to that, like this is like a pretty whimsical objection that I have. It's not full on. Yeah, she 100% might not know the word for small window or air vent.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could believe that Valent is well enough known that he can put like a hush notice so nobody else knows except the one person doing the trick.
And I guess anybody, if he has any hand that's involved with making it happen.
Yeah. I did not witness the crime. You must understand. I only know what I heard.
Yes, but you must tell us what you're doing in detail.
I was crawling in the vent. That's what the cross examination is for. Ja, forehead.
It was an ancient Borginian ritual to
I believe it.
to sacrifice the living. Oh no, crap.
Our mission in this court is to discern the truth. No obligation, no binding pact may hinder that mission.
Very well. Mr. Justice, you may begin the cross-examination.
What are you going to do, Apollo?
Oh. I'm going to find out the truth. She was up above that ceiling for a reason. I just have to get it out of her. We know the reason. Just say it.
Just gotta get out of her.
Above the ceiling. Could you be more specific?
I cannot.
Because you're bound to secrecy?
Yes. To tell the truth, I was not supposed to even say I was above the ceiling. I dare not say more.
Doesn't sound like I'll be able to coax it out of her just by asking. By small window, you mean the air vent?
I only remembered I needed to be careful of where I put my hands and feet. I cannot see the light coming through the window, of course.
The air vent grate could trip you up, certainly.
So I was walking very carefully when I heard the gunshots. Startled, I crouched down and listened.
Okay, so she is on her hands. Well, she's on her hands and feet, then she's moving. So
yeah, so this is her crouching down to listen to what's going on.
Yeah, so she's crouching here.
I can believe that. I cannot believe that she's on her hands and knees right now, but I can believe that she's crouching to hear. That said, though, these are enormous vents. Then
she's still I mean, she can't stand up. She's crouching through them.
Yeah.
I think she's still essentially crawling. She just might not be on her knees. But
yeah.
Though honestly, I think it'd be more comfortable on her knees than like crawling around like a little gremlin, but okay.
Yeah, she's like... That's when I heard his voice come from the room.
Especially since if she's doing what we assume she's doing, she has to be going fast through there.
Yeah, I was saying that's the other thing too. Like in the video, in the FMV cutscene that we saw, like it was like the cloth flew up and immediately flew back down, and she was already on the other side. You can't carefully cross that distance.
It was like 10-15 seconds of music while it slowly fluttered.
Yeah.
Not immediately,
she also was still singing during that time too. So she was like,
she probably wasn't. It was probably pre-recorded.
Yeah, like this is all just dubbed. Like she didn't sing any of it.
Listen, that's kind of normal, especially if you're doing a trick like that. You're not actually singing the whole time. There's no
Yeah.
way. It would. The sound would sound awful.
Well, yeah, they would just hear clunk, clunk, clunk.
Well, no, even if you weren't doing that, even if you're just like being carried around a wire like that, like it's gonna mess with your breathing. Your mic will move back and forth.
Yeah.
No, a lot of concerts, I think if there's a lot of moving around, they're usually dubbed. Not dubbed, but you know what I mean. Recorded and lip syncing.
Or lip sync.
Daryan's voice.
I knew something terrible had happened, yeah.
So without a word, you just let the third set start?
After the curtain closed for the second set, there was still much to do.
You could have prevented this whole misunderstanding if you had only told us sooner.
Yes, perhaps I could have. I see little point in badgering the witness. What's done is done. The mind works differently when one is in the middle of a performance. Why, I've lost my voice in the middle of the show and kept on singing completely unaware.
That's not what losing your voice means. What?
Yeah. Like, you can still speak when you lose your voice. It's just A, painful, B, hard to get any kind of volume out, but you're still singing.
Singing without a voice. If only all contradictions were so obvious. If only I could get Lamoror to talk. Pressuring her like this doesn't seem to be getting me anywhere.
As to why I was there, I cannot say.
You heard the gunshots during the second set during your performance. You're quite sure?
Yes, why would I lie about the time?
Why didn't you tell us this yesterday?
No one asked me.
Oh, fair.
I thought y'all knew.
We all knew you were in the ceiling?
I told you Machi was not the killer. I told you this many times.
Yes, you did. You never told us why.
I am sorry. I was not able to speak of it.
Unable or unwilling?
She's not talking, Apollo. What do we do?
We'll just have to prove it ourselves. As long as she is bound by this pact of silence, she won't talk. But if I can prove why she was up there, she'll have to admit it.
Well, how are you gonna do that? She was singing on the stage, Apollo. She couldn't have been up above the ceiling, too.
Yes, she could.
Huh?
I've got a theory as to why, too. And maybe I've got the evidence to prove it. Maybe.
Yeah. So it's that one. You can press that one if you want, but it's a previous statement.
it's this one?
Clearly.
What do you think
Yeah.
it is?
What do we got? Go back. Keep going. It's nothing here. I for a second there I read fun diorama. Those are not even the right words. It's not even the right words. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Go to the VHS. It's probably that. Can we see it? I'm not singing. Sugar, we're going down swinging. Can you? Ooh. Pleasure. It wraps up itself around me. Yeah, how did she hear it press a button when the button is pressed now?
It's not pressed yet.
Did you not see the light? Go back. You can see the guitar start to light up
Oh,
already.
there it is.
See?
Yeah. Then she heard it on stage.
Yeah, but the subtext is that she heard it while she was up in the sky.
No, she heard the gunshot.
No, she heard press the button.
Yeah, right before she heard the gunshots.
Yeah, so this is what she was doing, obviously.
So this?
Yeah, I guess so.
Lamoror, truth be told, the reason for your presence above that ceiling is quite clear. Especially when you consider what happened during your performance.
What happened?
Yes, it's all right here on this video. Can somebody get a VHS player in here? No, we don't own a VHS player. It's 2025.
Just rips off her hair.
I don't know. I was too busy like being bugged by his hand isn't actually grabbing it. It's like in front of it.
He doesn't even look like himself in this 3D
He is
model.
so orange in this.
He's very orange. Guitar. Up together to the sky.
Reminds me of that Amanda Show character.
Oh, sorry. I don't know if you heard the bugle going off.
No.
Yeah, my phone has an alarm that bugles at me.
Fair. As we see, Lamorar was clearly not on stage for her entire performance.
Ah,
Though it saddens me to be so realistic, Lamorar is incapable of actually vanishing, let alone teleportation.
It saddens me to be so realistic.
Yeah. That's at least a 6th level spell. Actually, no, that's way lower, but...
Yeah, Misty Step? Is that what you're talking about?
Was that Misty Step? I don't know.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
I thought Misty
Like,
Step
moving
is
from
like a
one
bonus
spot where to
action.
another spot you can see?
Misty Step's like a bonus action. That took like 5 turns to get from one spot to the other.
I mean, you can
That's
use
much
your
worse.
Misty Step as a main action.
Yeah, but that's still doing it in 6 seconds, and there was way more than 6 seconds that she was going through the air.
So what would it be? Dimension Door?
Something worse than Misty Step because it takes longer.
Well, Dimension Door is only an action, so it's only 6 seconds.
That was a ritual spell.
That, yeah, 10 minutes is a ritual. Well, yeah.
So the only expert...
It's like a...
What?
What?
What are you gonna say?
No, go ahead and read the line. We don't need to go into D&D minutia.
So the only explanation is that she was hidden from view. And during that time, she moved to the back of the forum.
Apollo!
What, Trucy?
It's not nice to reveal magician's secrets, and it's against the rules!
But I'm a lawyer. I'm not supposed to be nice. Or follow the rules.
this is all very fascinating. But how is it possible? There's only 20 seconds between when she disappears and reappears. She couldn't have moved that fast.
See, that was like at more than 3 rounds that she was gone. That's like Blink. That's like Blink combined with Misty Step. But
I looked up Blink, and it immediately took me to Blink 182.
no, Blink is the one where you like disappear up to a minute from this plane.
Yeah, it says it. Yeah, it costs an action to cast it, and then you're gone for about a minute.
Yeah, but you can end it early. That was.
I think it was Blink, and then Misty Step.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Well, we figured it out, boys. It was Blink, and well, I think Misty Step first, and then Blink. Like as Misty Step was concluding, because otherwise, you know.
Yeah, I don't think there's a spell that lets you do both the like disappear
I mean,
from
you
the
can
plane
quicken
for
spell
multiple
to be able to
turns.
cast a second spell during your turn, but like, it's still within those 6 seconds.
Yeah, that'd be some DM discretion on whether you can disappear at the same time, like the teleport and the leaving the plane at the same time, and then ending the Misty Step.
Shady posits that it could be self-vanishing.
But still, you would reappear in the same spot, and that's the part that's
Yeah, I think it was greater invisibility and then Misty Step. That's my final answer.
Okay, but then she would have had to.
That's it. You can cast spells under greater invisibility.
But her clothes.
Yeah, Gavin removed the cloak, so that part wasn't attached to her, so that part didn't go invisible, and then everything that you have on you is invisible.
So you're saying she just waited on the other side and dropped it?
Well, no, she didn't carry it with her. Like, I think
the spell. She waited on the other side and then dropped the spell.
Yeah.
Drop concentration.
Yeah, she greater invised, Misty Step, and then just waited until her cue.
Why not just blink then? It's safer than you're not on the plane.
Well, because then you... I mean, maybe that's what she did, and she's just in the plane of air vents. Like, I think that might have been what happened. I guess I'm back to blink.
That's where the astral plane is. It's just all air vents, actually.
It's just all air vents. I mean, if you think hard enough about it, the mid planes or whatever, what are they called? Shitty. You probably know. Like, what are the planes in between planes? That's a thing. I don't know enough about
D&D.
Planes in between
planes and trains and
yeah, because it's like the chaos planes. It's like everything. It's just like this infinite void of like the one thing that like separates them. So like the plane of like fire and the plane of air, everything's just like molten gas.
We're getting really off topic, but I want my velvet room to be an air vent.
That'd be very funny. I could see it for you though.
I don't know what it means, but I want it to be an air vent.
Yeah, I could see it for you. And then like you leave the air vent towards the end of this game, and turns out that you're in a library the entire time.
Yeah, at the big climax, the fans turn on.
Yeah.
Is something wrong, Prosecutor Gavin?
This was his concert, his show. He knows how the illusion was performed.
Aha!
He's just realizing his own oversight.
Oh, so I was right? He knows how the illusion was... I mean, if Apollo's correct, then I was correct. That Gavin knows, and he was just obfuscating to serve his own point.
Or
so he's
because he was under
lawyer.
Or he was under contract also to not say anything.
Yeah, watch him say that. Watch him be like, now that you've revealed it on your own, I guess I could speak about it.
Let's look at the cross-section diagram again. Here we can trace a route through the ceiling. It goes from the stage to the backstage to the rear of the forum. Recall Lamoror's testimony from yesterday.
I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. There was something like a little window there. That's how I saw it. How I saw it? Lamoror, you can't say that.
She can say it.
This is before we knew she was blind? That was before we knew that she was blind.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah, this is when it first said that she was looking through there.
Yeah, that Machi was the blind one, and she was her seeing-eye person.
She went from the stage to the backstage exit. A perfect description of this route above the ceiling.
Lamoror knew of this because of her part in the illusion. But she wasn't the only one who knew.
How would they know? They're gonna know.
This just still seems kind of insane for 20 seconds.
Yeah, that was very
I'm
quick.
assuming there's ladders in there?
Again, Misty Step. It's the only way.
I'm starting to feel that that's more logical that she Misty stepped than that she went through these vents, because...
Yeah, quietly and like quickly and carefully, she went down the steps of the elevated platform.
Doesn't have to be quiet. It was loud music.
Oh yeah, I'm still in the head canon that she was singing the entire time, but you did indicate that it was probably lip synced.
Oh, it had to have been. Otherwise, you'd be hearing it echoing
the acoustics
through the vent.
have been off. Yeah. You know, you're right.
Yeah,
but
no. Like,
she dropped out immediately, just Usain Bolts all the way down.
she drops down, breaks both of her ankles in the landing, propels herself forward through like some sort of rocket-powered snake, and then spider climbs up the other side.
Yeah, and then just casting cure wounds right before she goes up to mend the bones.
Does cure wounds bend bones?
I don't know. I would say so, but like I think it's probably like greater healing. That?
Just now in the lobby, Machi told me something. I know if I opening vent, I can leave stage and backstage. I really was hoping it was just going to say I know, and that was going to be the whole flashback.
He said that?
Oh, were you not informed, Prosecutor Gavin?
I knew about the vanishing act, of course. Yet, I have no idea of the route that would be used. Why didn't that magician tell me?
I feel like if this is your regular concert venue, you should have known that route exists.
Yeah, because the Valid didn't create the route. Like that would be a bigger magic trick in and of itself. Like, watch me, a magician, become a contractor and completely rework the inner mechanisms of this concert hall. Magicians only reveal details of their acts on a need-to-know basis. They're the bread and butter of a magician's life, you know.
Which is why he bound Lammeror to secrecy. Well, Lammeror?
I am impressed, Mr. Attorney. Also, if you're a magician, never teach me your tricks. Because I will just tell everyone. Like, you cannot bind me to that kind of secret.
What if you're being paid?
Maybe, if I'm getting paid. Because that's a what is it? DNCA? Is that what it is?
NDA?
NDA. That's an NDA. You got to respect the law. But if you're like, honor system, don't tell people where I grabbed this penny from. I'll be like, why is it that big of a deal?
Next thing you know,
like
you wrote a clickbait article. You'll never guess where the magician grabbed his penny.
I know.
Number 4 will shock
I get it, but like I think it's fun to like learn about that. Like if you truly believe that like magic is not just sleight of hand in our universe of reality, like stage magic, right? There could be real magic and I don't know anything about, but like stage magic is sleight of hand. And if you like, for me, I think there's a fun part in learning about it. Like I find it frustrating when somebody does a trick and it's like, I'm not telling. I'll be like, then don't even do that trick in front of me ever again, because that was a waste of my time.
I mean, but if you're like a big performer, then you need something.
Yeah. Like I'm not gonna ask David Blaine to tell me how. Yeah, no, I get it. I get that. Like he's valid. Valid is valid. I'm not saying he isn't. I'm saying if you meet me at a bar or a party or whatever, and you're like, want to see a magic trick? I'm going to be like, unless you tell me how it works, no. I don't want to see a magic trick, because it's just going to frustrate me the rest of the night.
It cost me a spell slot. That's how it works. I do a somatic component.
Tell me your secrets.
And I cast Fireball on the vodka over there.
Ugh. Then the vodka transmutates into a coin, and then I pull the coin out of behind your ear. It's like, oh, that's very complex. I thought you just like had it in between your fingers.
Oh, I don't have fingers.
Reveals, just stumps. Machi was right about you.
So, what does this mean?
Oh, that said, though, quick full disclosure. If magic is real and you're willing to teach me magic, I will sign whatever NDA you want me to about it. But that's just for the record.
Are you saying you used this route above the ceiling?
I did.
Well, that's that. But I'm still a little confused.
Why is that, Your Honor?
As I said before,
Blah, blah, blah. See, removing the cloak so it's no longer attached to her body.
She
Then
falls
cast Greater
so
Invis.
fast.
She does fall very fast.
Like, that's not... something's dropping her.
20 seconds
Yeah.
tops. How could she do it so fast? Especially if she stopped to hear the shooter's voice.
Nobody said she stopped.
She stopped time.
I missed the line. There was very little time between when she disappeared and shooter. Yeah.
She cast stop time.
She's just like, oh, that... I just froze time. That was the easy part.
Yeah, we in Virginia, we all know how to stop time.
Meanwhile, Val's like, wait, why'd I make that elaborate route for you? You could have just walked over there while time was stopped.
It would cost me a spell slot.
But she already stopped time, though.
She didn't think about it that far.
That's a good question.
Can the witness explain this to the court?
I cannot.
Very well, Mr. Justice.
I can't stop time. That's ridiculous. I just made everybody else's perception of time stop. Yes?
It's all up to you. Do your thing.
What thing, Your Honor?
You need to explain how Lamar was able to teleport like she did. Or I'm throwing your case out with the bathwater.
Why do I get picked on? It's Lamar who isn't going along with the program here.
As I stated before, I am not at liberty to speak of the illusions that are not in detail.
Then you'll just have to tell us what you can. We'll hear your testimony on this. Mr. Justice, it'll be your job to wring the truth out of her.
Yes, if you would, please.
If you would please wring the truth out of me.
She's into it.
Right. I feel like a student before finals.
Good luck, Apollo. I will say, though, I do like this premise of, like, I have a secret that I am not allowed to tell you, but if you can wring it out of me, then I can confirm, you know? Like, I like that trope. Like, you're under, like, a spell where you, like, can't say it or something, or, like, somebody's, like, holding you hostage and you can't, like, reveal it in detail. Like, I just think it's fun.
Okay.
Yeah, and just, you know, I followed the route exactly as I was instructed. There's an emergency exit in the backstage where a stagehand waited. From there, one can enter the forum on the opposite side of the stage. The plan was for me to move there in 2 minutes. I was on my way when I heard the voice.
2 minutes?
So that song had a 2-minute guitar solo?
No, they said it was 20 seconds. Yeah, they said it was 20 seconds.
2 minutes, you say. The mystery deepens.
Suppose it was too much to hope that the judge would come up with something.
It's just my curiosity.
We've established that the judge is into magic. This is not the first magician that we've interrogated, and he's always all about it.
Freezing time? That would be ridiculous. I just slowed it.
I mean, you say that, but like that does make more sense. It is much easier to slow time than it is to freeze it. If you think about molecular, design and stuff, like freezing time.
Yes,
literally
in the same way that moving at the speed of light is easier than teleportation.
Yeah.
Than like wormholes. Like, sure.
Yeah, you get it.
But
yeah, you get it.
Neither is realistically within any amount of human technology ever.
Yeah, the only way we can manipulate time is by distending our perception of it. But like, I'm saying, like, if we were to find a way, I would think we would find a way to slow down time before we find a way to stop it. Which obviously makes sense in hindsight.
They managed to convince everybody that those 2 minutes were actually 20 seconds, and it was just playing really slowly.
Yeah. Oh! They have Delta 9.
Delta 9?
From Zero Escape.
Radical 6?
Radical 6.
It's Delta 9.
Oh, Delta 9 is actually it's a chemical that is in the drug that is green and people smoke. I don't know if I can say it.
Sudafed? What's green?
Yep, Sudafed.
Meth?
No, it's a plant.
Cocaine?
Cocaine is a plant. You're right. You got me there.
Aloe vera?
Aloe vera. It's. Can I say it? I mean, you said
Probably.
cocaine at this point. It's marijuana.
Why would you not be able to say that? People smoke that on Twitch.
I don't know, man. I don't know, but yeah, Delta 9 is a man-made, I think, from what I know, chemical that is supposed to give you a similar high to THC without it being actually THC. I don't know, man. I don't imbibe, so like it's
That
not
seems worse. Like,
my knowledge. Yeah, but you know, people figure it out.
there's probably less studies on how safe it is. And
Yeah,
marijuana is not really that bad.
I'm not condoning Delta 9. I just that's what I thought it was Radical 6. It's a symbol and a number. Radical 6, Delta 9. It's the same thing. There's a character named Delta in one of the games. It's not my fault.
That's a massive spoiler.
There's also a character named 9 in it, isn't it?
No?
Like, isn't one character like clones and they're like the 9th clone? This is a lot of spoilers for the game, but we played it, so watch it. We have the VODs.
There are clones. There's no one named there's no 9th clone.
Oh, I'm thinking of the game where like everybody had the watches, and there was a 9 one, and I assumed
there was
that
the 9th man that they didn't know his name.
yeah, the 9th man. Everybody had like fun little quirky names based on the number that they were.
Yeah, he didn't.
I get
have
it.
one
I'm
'cause
back
he
on
died-
track.
He died too quick.
Yeah, I'm back on track.
All I have to do is find the contradiction between what Lamar is saying and what we can see plainly in the video.
But yeah, he gave them all Radical 6. That's what it is. I figured it out already. I am a magician after all.
Well, tell me.
Not a chance. I can't reveal another magician's secrets. Come on.
Hey, you're supposed to be on my side here.
Yeah, she's not revealing their secret. She's explaining her understanding of the trick. It's different. Bing, bing, bing,
How did you
bing, bing, bing.
proceed along this route?
How? Why, I walked.
But you arrived behind the forum much too fast to have been walking. Tell the truth, Lamoror, you rode some kind of vehicle.
What? A vehicle? What vehicle?
What a novel idea. I like it.
You took the bus, Lamoror.
Yeah. Oh, I figured out why his hair stresses me out in the FMV. Because it's like banana chunks, whereas like when you see it in the 2D, it's just like this flat thing.
Who?
See?
hair?
Gavin.
I haven't even looked
Yeah.
at his hair. I'm too busy caught up on his orange skin.
Yeah, like look, like his hair, like right now, if I were to like do his hair as a 3D model, I would just do 2 pieces.
Okay.
Like the part with the bang and then the rest of the hair. Like they like modeled like 17 different bananas onto his head. I don't know why that was necessary.
I'm curious now.
Like look at the video. It's
I
so
just realized you
bad.
can look at it anytime. That.
I mean that's not there we go. Keep going. Like why they do that? Why they do that?
It's all they had to do every strand.
I mean they did her hair pretty normal. Like they could have just done just the 2 things. It doesn't even have any physics. Like it's not like they were like, well, we need to animate the physics.
DS limitations.
DS limitations. Let's put more polygons on this. Like that's
I
what
mean,
you're saying.
to make it one complete curved thing that actually would be more polygons than what.
Oh
you
yeah,
did.
it would be. You're right. I take that back. You know game design. I don't. Fair. It probably was easier to model bananas as opposed to like just one flat wig texture.
As for why hers, I guess because it's like more like just cylinders mostly.
Yeah, it's probably just like tubes with the texture of the twirl in it, as opposed to like claviers.
Plus, they might have also decided that hers was more important to try to put more of the polygons into. Yeah. Like, who knows?
Yeah. Who knows?
It does. I agree that it looks bad. But
yeah, it does look bad, but I get it. I'm not gonna push it. Hey, that's not a bad guess. Wrong, but not bad.
Yes, laugh at the dumb attorney. I don't mind.
I'm sorry, but the girl is right. The van was much too small for vehicles. It was a tight fit, even I had to crouch as I walked.
Bae, what about nanomachines?
Nanomachines, son. Nanomachines? I cannot imagine a nanomachine that would fit in such a small space.
Metal Gear?
Metal Gear.
Arg, if it wasn't a vehicle, what was it?
You have been going there for a while, Mr. Justice. Too bad.
Mobile assault.
Ready for the next part?
Why do I feel like I'm on some kind of quiz show now?
Mobile assault unit.
I want a sub.
As you know, I was asleep, so I haven't had dinner yet. I'll destroy a sub right now.
Well, they said
like,
quiz show, which made me think of Quizno, which has subs, but I've never had Quiznos.
Unless they sponsor Quiznos, you're canceled.
I've never had Quiznos. I'm just saying that connected to subs for me, and now I want a sub. Yeah. Not necessarily a Quizno sub. I just want a sub.
All Quizno subs were like in these thin little baguettes. It was so bad. Unless you sponsor, in which case I'll retract my statement.
I mean, I do want to say, and I saw this online at some point way back when, but good job, Subway, convincing entire generations of people that eating an entire loaf of bread for lunch is healthy.
Yeah. I mean, they had the charisma mancer Jared until he charismaed a little too hard and went to jail.
Did everyone in the concert staff know about the trick?
Not all. Only a few that were needed to help. See, like I said, it's on a need-to-know basis.
So not many people knew about the trick.
What were these stagehands required to do?
One needed to open the emergency exit. The door to the stairs is locked, but once through there, one can enter the forum on the opposite side of the stage.
So when he came back out, you were behind the audience.
Yes, that is how it worked. Not a bad show if I do say so myself. And that's Uncle Valen for you, the old grammary touch.
But on the video, you were only gone for 20 seconds. How is that possible?
That's the part I don't get either. Body double?
Yes, it would be... What?
Body double, maybe?
Yeah, it would be hard to go so far in only 20 seconds.
Maybe Machi was disguised as her? 2 minutes?
Yes, it can be done in 1 minute if you are running.
Running in that cramped dark tunnel above the ceiling?
Mr. Attorney, have you forgotten? Dark or lit, it makes no difference to me.
Cramped, it still makes the difference.
Yeah, cramped is so cramped. You're gonna slam your face against the walls very often, or at least rub up against sharp metals based on the image that we saw of you up there. There's a lot of things that are sharp and sticking out.
Ah, that's true, but...
So you're saying that on the night of the concert, you made the trip in 2 minutes?
Yes, though I nearly didn't make it in time. You see, I stopped halfway.
Lamora disappeared on the video for 20 seconds, but she says she made the trip in 2 minutes. How?
If you want my professional opinion, I'll bet the answers are right there in that video.
Well, Mr. Justice, perhaps you have some evidence for us, something that can explain the discrepancy between the video and our testimony.
Evidence explaining the discrepancy.
I mean, I guess?
Do we? You think we do?
Like the discrepancy. Yeah, I guess.
There's one piece of evidence that explains the discrepancy between video and testimony.
Can we see the video? Okay. Fast forward all the way to the end. I saw what I needed to see.
Oh, just end it?
To the no, to the very last to the very last scene when she apparates again after Misty stepping. Guitar.
I should go back, I guess.
Yeah. Burning my love away, all away. Like a bullet of love, fire, take my life away. Guitar. Yep, okay, yep, got it. It's the brooch.
Why? What happened?
It fell down the vent when she stopped to listen.
Lamaror, do you happen to remember this brooch?
Aha, the brooch. We saw it yesterday, did we not?
It was found at the scene, Your Honor.
And you're bringing this up now. Why? I thought we had already determined that when that was dropped.
So did I, but we hadn't.
Huh?
Take another look at the video.
Yeah, she has it at the beginning of the video. She doesn't have it at the end. Simple.
Here you can see she's wearing the brooch.
So she is.
Let's look a bit later.
Oh, missed opportunity for them to have a fast forward animation.
What? The brooch is gone.
That?
Yes. The brooch disappeared in the short space of 20 seconds, and it takes a full minute to run from the stage to the backstage. Which means there can be only one explanation. The Lamaror we see before the Vanishing Act and the Lamaror we see after are two different people.
What? What?
The brooch is found on the floor at the crime scene, and not just on the floor, but on the floor directly beneath the air vent. Lamaror, tell me, did you drop the brooch on your way from the stage to the backstage? At the very moment you witnessed the crime?
Yes, I think I did. Oh, I get it. It was a body double. You're right.
But then why bother with the vents and not just have her waiting to come right up the other spot?
Yeah, I don't know, but that's what it was.
Order.
It had to have been a body double.
P. Prosecutor Gavin.
P. Wallaby Sherman. Is that what it is? Wallaby Way Sherman.
P. Sherman, 42
Wallaby Way
Way,
Sydney. That's what it is. P. Sherman, Wallaby Way, Sydney. P. Prosecutor
P. Sherman,
Gavin.
42 Wallaby Way, Sydney.
Oh, excuse me. I didn't realize you knew the address of
That's the entire joke!
New Zealand. Or is it Australia?
Sydney!
Sydney, Australia. Sydney, New Zealand. From your expression, I gather you had no idea this was the case, Judge. I, of course, knew about it.
What?
Don't get me wrong, I wasn't hiding it. That just never occurred to me. That the switch and the shooting took place at the same time.
So I was right? There was a switch?
There was. Just before the stage towers rose, Lamirov was replaced.
While we're on the subject, just who is this replacement, Lamaror? It was me, Your
Right.
Honor.
The man behind the illusion, Valence Carpentry.
Dang, I want it to be Gumshoe.
I would have loved it. Hey guys, it was me. Let me tell you, putting that corset on was a nightmare.
Originally, they were gonna have me singing the song, but I was too good.
Yeah, well, I had to play drums, but for some reason, somebody was already there for drums, so, Remember, because canonically he plays the drums, but he's never allowed to actually perform?
Yeah.
Did you forget that bit?
I remember. It was Grammary? That's quite the illusion, but I still don't get one thing.
Yes.
The switch happened before the tower rose, correct? So you weren't on the stage. You missed that, right? But this fake Lamour is still singing. And she's pretty good. Well, thank you, pal.
I take good pride in my pipes.
That's true.
Come on, Apollo, that's an easy one. They were just playing a recording. The Cavaliers are in some kind of air guitar band, Fräulein. Oh, you mean I'm wrong? When we play a show live, we play live. No recordings.
Okay, but she's not a Gaviner.
Perhaps you can explain that more. Very well. I swear, if I was correct and she was singing the entire time she was going through that tunnel, I was right. Oh, you can't. I have a dual monitor set up now, so my camera points. I was right. If I was right.
I mean, that's dumb though.
It is dumb, but I feel like I would be validated if I was correct.
Yes, do tell. Add to your testimony.
I had to keep saying, yes! Sweet validation. I had to keep singing while I moved. I mean, what are we... I don't know. I mean, what do we present? I don't know what to present in this.
You were singing?
Yes. Mr. Gavin expressed a dislike for recordings, so I used these.
Weren't the acoustics dog shit?
I'm such a talented singer. I casted all the silence around me.
I sung around these dog shit acoustics.
Yeah, no.
I adjusted for it.
Yes, you adjusted for it. That's hilarious. But again, also, she casted a bubble of silence around her. and then mine sang to all the audience using her latent eldritch powers because she is a warlock.
Who's her patron?
Hatsune
Miku. Oh, dang. Sure.
Who?
I said Hatsune Miku. But...
Hatsune Miku. Oh, iconic. Oh yeah, because she's a singer. Oh, that's so good. And the price she had to pay was her eyesight. Listen, it's all coming together.
Wait, so you were singing the whole time?
Even I'm gonna make a Bard Warlock dual class when my patron is Hatsune Miku.
I'll be really jealous.
Yeah, that seems fantastic.
Even when you were crawling above the ceiling toward the backstage?
Well, it shouldn't matter where I sing. Everywhere I go, it's the same darkness. Because the acoustics are dog shit.
Well, I can't see those acoustics, now can I? So they don't apply to me.
Yeah, if you can't see it, it doesn't. It's like you can't see sound, Labrador. What are you talking about?
That sign can't stop me. I can't read.
Iconic. That's so good.
But if you were singing while you were walking...
And then Apollo appropriately does the fist meme from Arthur as well in response. That's right. Sorry, Trucy. That's right. Why wouldn't the shooter and the victim have heard?
Isn't another Arthur meme the... you mean people would just lie on the internet?
Yeah, that's Buster. The character Buster from the show Arthur. He's a bunny, and he says that.
Buster Bunny.
Buster the bunny rabbit.
Isn't Buster the blue bunny from Tiny Toons?
Maybe.
Do you have two Busters?
Maybe they're both named Buster. Maybe Buster's just like a common bunny name. I read this line.
I know you did.
She was singing right over their heads after all.
That is right.
Are you sure?
You'd have to be pretty hard of hearing to miss someone singing in the ceiling.
In the ceiling. Once again, we come back to the state of the scene of the crime.
Listen, today when the library is closing and I had to do my closing announcements, when I tried to say the computers will be shutting down, I did not say shutting, and I had to correct myself, and thankfully nobody noticed.
You said pooping?
I said the computers are shitting, and I had to correct myself.
That's so funny.
I was like, oh my god, there's kids in here.
Yeah. Shitting.
That would have been worse. No, I just
pooping.
I just said computers are shitting. No, that's not what I said. I said the computers are shitting, and I immediately repeated and said the computers are shutting down. I just started the sentence over. I was like, nope.
That's iconic, and I wish that I was there to experience that. Subsequent follow-up question. Y'all have like a turn-off switch to just turn them all off remotely?
No, they turn off automatically 15 minutes before closing.
Oh, it's like programmed. Like they're programmed to shut down.
That's controlled by downtown, by the central branch.
Oh,
and
fun.
It's true. So, well, I love that that's a thing because patrons can't argue with us to go beyond it. We can't to control it.
Yeah, they can't be like, I just need 10 more minutes. Like, well, I don't have any control over it.
On very rare occasions, we'll have a patron that continues arguing. But for the most part, we just have to tell them, I can't do that. It's controlled by Central. I can't stop it from shutting down. And that usually is enough. And I'm like, thank goodness we have that.
Yeah, because you're right. Like, people will argue if they can. Like I had to, not to dox myself, but like I had to shut down the store early one time because of work, like an injury that happened, and everybody was arguing me because they were like, "Well, can you just like let us finish this tournament?" I'm like, "No, like I literally, like the emergency vehicle is gonna arrive, and it will be a violation for you to still be here." Like, and they still were arguing, and I'm like, I have no control.
Yeah.
Y'all being dumb.
Yeah. Either way, they shut down automatically 15 minutes before. And so,
well, that's fun.
Which is good because we can start closing up, and people are forced to leave, and we don't have to wait for anybody trying to stay on the computer the last minute either. So.
Yeah.
But we
do you often have to get people to leave though? Like, do people still try to stay up until closing, or once computers are down?
Once in a while.
Because I would assume some people go there to read, right? I would go to a library to read.
We have a couple like problem patrons that will try to do that, and one did threaten like a month ago to like report our clerk for turning the lights off during closing procedures when we're supposed to turn the lights off.
Yeah.
It's like
that's just standard practice, sir. Like, we're not...
Because it was still 5 minutes before the library closed, so it's like, yeah, so you should be going.
Yeah, like, just because the building isn't technically closed doesn't mean that, like, you have to literally keep it in operation until the very last second.
Yeah, we are only on the clock until the minute the library closes. So
yeah, people don't get that. Like, I got that a lot too at my place at the store that I ran. And like, people thought that they could come in literally, like, we closed at 9, like at 8:58, browse the store and buy something, and I'm like, literally at 9 o'clock, I stopped getting paid.
Yeah, well, and it's not even just we stopped getting paid, so we don't care anymore. We legally cannot work when we're not on the clock.
Well, that's what it is.
State employees.
Yeah, like if any transaction were to be after 9 o'clock, like, and anything goes wrong, like it's on me specifically. Like, I messed up, and like that's whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I mean, if we accidentally stay longer than a shift, like, we have to have it clocked because there's like state laws.
Yeah.
So like,
100%.
And our timesheets don't allow us to go past closing. So we have to be done at closing.
Yeah.
So we give warnings, though. We have 2 warnings. One at 30 minutes before we close, one 20 minutes before we close.
Mm-hmm.
And then 15 minutes before is when we start shutting down or closing up stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Just people just generally misunderstand. Closing means literally leave. Like, y'all need to be gone by the time that the place closes. Not you can stay up until closing.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a very simple concept that people don't understand.
Yeah. I mean, it's one thing people that run in like 3 minutes before closing just to drop off a book in the box. I'm like, whatever, sure.
Yeah, because you just deal with it the next day.
Yeah, that happened today, literally as I was shutting down the last employee computer, and I was like, your books were going to be turned in tomorrow because the computers are off. But
yeah,
we don't do late fees, so that's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
I
did read this.
Yeah,
one,
I think you did. What state?
I know what he means. That old speaker, Apollo.
The speaker of the house? That speaker was blaring at the time of the murder.
That's for monitoring the stage from this room.
Just so you know, you laughed at my
Monitoring?
joke more than you should have. That had no right.
The Speaker of the House, it was chuckle worthy. You got to remember who I'm shackled up with for the foreseeable future and how political they are.
Fair, I guess he would have continued the joke. So
Yeah, all you need to do is just literally just say a random politician's name and I'd probably chuckle. Just like out of like a fear response and muscle memory.
Doug
Like, it wouldn't even have to be
Dimmadome.
funny. Doug Dimmadome. The Dimsdale Dimmadome? Iconic. It pipes in real-time feed from the stage microphones. Useful for knowing when your set's coming up. Satisfied. The dressing room was fitted with a large speaker playing a direct feed from the stage.
Crash Nebula on Ice. I was trying to remember what was playing at the Dimstone Dimmadome that entire time.
You forgot Crash Nebula on Ice?
I remembered it was something on ice, and I was trying to remember what is it on ice.
Doug Dimmadome.
Well, you were just reading your lines. I was racking my brain desperately. I was like, what is
I did see your brain processing that. Like, I think I did see that in your reflection. The VODs will speak.
I had the math meme going on in the air as a stare off.
That's my request, actually.
So Lammeror singing in the ceiling sounded just like Lammeror singing over the speaker.
Also worse, because then there would have been the feedback loop of the speakers into the mic set. So it would have been even dogger shit audio.
Yeah.
Like, if it was loud enough that they couldn't tell that somebody was speaking right above them or singing right above them, that it was loud enough, then the mic would have picked it up.
And then what the mic picked up would be going back to the speakers and then back into there. And
then
the feedback, oh my god.
Iconic. At a rock concert, nobody would have eardrums.
Ingenious. Her voice was hidden by her voice. It's absolutely not ingenious.
That's not how any of this works.
It's not how sound itself works.
Yeah, we just need, like, there's already like a lawyer playing Ace Attorney for like this one like court. They need to get like an audio engineer on the case.
Audio engineer, get a physicist. I don't know.
But just to see their brains melt out of their ears as they're trying to like justify all of this ludicrous audio tech issues.
Lammeror.
I've just remembered something.
Do tell.
The judge doesn't even care anymore. It's like, fine, yeah, what is it? When I heard the noise, the gunshots, yes. It startled me, so
Suddenly screamed in the middle of the song, but thankfully the feedback was so bad nobody heard it.
Yeah, that's why it's 20 seconds. It's actually because they have to physically cut out the entire feedback section like as a like safety protection for the entire rest of the country.
It was so loud. It was so loud. The feedback. Everybody blacked out for a minute and 40 seconds.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I believe it. I believe it.
So that's magic. Valen planned it all.
I stopped singing.
What?
I forgot the words I was supposed to sing.
The song stopped.
Thankfully, it was at the very beginning of the second verse. So not many would notice.
Okay, sorry. I'm really curious. Was there a... No, I mean...
There's not a gunshot sound.
No, the stop and singing, but it's going to be hard because
just look at the lyrics and then match it. I already know what she forgot. Because of the way that this song works, everything's doubled up. Like, check the lyrics. She only said pleasure once.
Oh, yeah.
That's what she's referring to.
Yeah.
She's literally referring... She forgot the word pleasure after saying the word pleasure.
Oh, I thought it was the first pleasure she was missing. Was it the second? Because I thought there was a pause.
Maybe she forgot the first pleasure as opposed to the second. I like to think that she forgot the second pleasure. Sugar.
Is this too far? It's right here.
Here. See? It was supposed to be pleasure.
How is sugar? Or guitar. Yeah, so it should have been pleasure. Yeah, okay, it is a second pleasure.
She forgot the second pleasure.
Well, it was a gunshot.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I also would think that she'd be like, ah!
I wouldn't say forgot the word. I got, like, distracted.
Or that the gunshot was, like, you could hear the gunshot in her audio or
could
something.
You hear it?
I'm saying, you would think so, right?
No, because already we've established this vent has some magical one-way sound properties.
Clearly. Forehead! That mixing board I lent you, where is it?
The mixing, huh?
The machine, Apollo, the one that breaks music into tracks. That's not how that works.
Oh, I'd completely forgotten about it.
Breaks music into tracks.
Let's take a listen.
Channel 5 is actually just a gunshot.
Is it going to be channel 2?
Either 2 or 5.
2 doesn't have anything.
Yeah. Oh, and this was when the bass was supposed to be playing from 2. Remember? We established that 2 is the bass.
I didn't see it.
I think what they're trying to tell us is that there was no bass up until after she said pleasure. And then the bass started again.
The song does stop there.
It does? I must have missed it.
Look at the lyric sheet at the top of the second verse. See where it says pleasure, pleasure? Now listen again. Oh my god, just again? Okay, we've already gotten past it. There we go.
This is evidence indeed. I believe we are guilty of making a terrible mistake.
The crime didn't happen during the second set. It happened during the third set. It happened during the second, during Lamorore's ballad.
Freudian slip, Apollo.
If that is true, then no one on stage during the second set could have been the shooter.
Which means that Daryan Crescent could have done it. He wasn't on stage for the second set. Well, Prosecutor Gavin?
Fascinating. I don't believe I've ever seen a trial turn around quite so thoroughly. Roll credits. And yet, one problem remains.
What's that, Prosecutor Gavin?
Forehead's theory does have a certain kind of logic to it. Yet it is entirely based upon Larimore's testimony. Also, if you need, we can go a little bit longer. That's fine.
I mean,
I've gotten a second wind.
I don't think we'll really be much. We'll see. I mean, we're almost to the end of this section, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, whatever you find, like, don't feel like, because I know at the beginning, it was like,
yeah,
I was pretty sure that I wouldn't be able to go much longer. Like, I got my second one.
we'll figure it out.
Yes, is there a problem with this?
Well, it's quite simple, though it pains me to say it. But if she's lying to protect the defendant?
But you have no proof.
All I'm saying is that the truth is as yet unclear until we hear directly from the man himself.
The man? You don't mean...
Yes. Though he is a friend and a band member, Daryan Crescend must take the stand. I see no other way.
As someone with a new perspective on the case.
As a suspect, to be frank.
Frank, is that you?
Finally, the rat's coming out of his hole.
Rude.
And I'm ready to catch him. Daryan Crescend, get ready for justice.
His name doesn't even have a rat pun in it.
This is a good time as any to pause for a brief recess.
Yeah, but he has the shark motif, and sharks are like the rats of the sea.
I would assume lobsters are the rats of the sea.
Lobsters are bugs. They're the cockroaches of the sea.
Okay, sharks are mammals?
Yes? This is a trick question?
They're not!
Neither are mammals.
Mammals are not mammals. It's just in...
Not originally.
I would say... Oh, otters are the rats of the sea?
Sure, I could... They're kind of the ferrets of the sea.
Otters are the ferrets of the sea. You're right. What is a smaller mammal that goes in...
We don't have small mammals in the sea. I don't think they could survive because of the...
Yeah, but like in the shore...
Rats? Rats can swim.
Rats can swim.
Capybara?
Rats are the rats of the sea.
Capybara?
Ooh. I mean, they are big rats. Just casually. Like, I want to see that now.
Platypus?
Just like a mermaid that has a capybara. Oh, platypuses are the ducks of the sea.
Not the beavers of the sea?
Yes, and the beavers of the sea.
They're the beavers of the ducks.
They're the beavers of the ducks. They're the snake of the ducks. They're the ducks of the mammals.
They're the something that sweats milk of the mammals.
Ugh. Iconic.
The prosecution will summon the witness. Have him here and be ready by the time we begin.
I'm the last man who needs to be reminded of what his duties are.
Very well. Court is adjourned for a 15-minute recess. Court is DiGiorno for a 15-minute recess.
I mean, does the journal take 15 minutes to cook?
I think it takes more than 15.
Does it? I haven't had DiGiorno in a long time.
I think it takes like 20 or 30. Plus, you have to preheat the oven.
It's another chapter?
Yeah. It's the last chapter of this. That's why I said this trial is going to take 2 to 3 more streams, but I think we can get it done next stream. We'll go to right before the first cross-examination, I think.
Okay.
Unless
we'll keep the goofs.
Unless it takes longer than expected, but I don't think it will.
Yeah, we'll keep the goofs, but we'll lose the extended 30-minute tangents on D&D mechanics. That's my promise to you.
For what, next week?
Yeah.
No, if we go at the same page we went this week, we did essentially an entire section this week, so...
Yeah, because we're really good at this game. Apollo, I can't believe it. I can't Adam and Eve it. I can't Adam it. Is she that Cockney?
No.
She'd have to say the whole thing. It really happened during the second act? And right in the middle of Lamoureux's performance?
The reason why she was in that air vent. And that switch and the flaming guitar. Don't put switch in quotes now that... What?
That's such a bad snap.
Don't put switch in quotes. That now sounds like a different definition of switch. That switch.
And the flaming guitar. Oh, he's calling. He's calling Gavin a switch.
Calling. You hear the calling. Sorry.
Wake up, the time for us to realize.
It's a different song, but okay.
No, it's the same song.
Oh yeah, no, you just skipped the verse.
Yeah, I
So it
skipped
threw
a
me
bunch,
off.
yeah.
It threw me off because you skipped
Yeah.
from the intro to the chorus.
That's my favorite part.
When you link it all together, that's what you end up with. I'm still mad that Theater Rhythm recent re-release that had 1 week of DLC of The World Ends With You only had 3 songs, because that game is full of amazing music.
There's so many good songs. I'm gonna go with Lamaror.
Oh, I was gonna go with Valent.
I was gonna go with
I go with
Gavin.
Valent. I go with Valent.
Okay, go.
I knew you had what it took. Oh, we're all wrong.
We were all wrong. I
to
came
be
up with
honest-
3 different suggestions.
To be honest, I forgot he exists.
Daddy! Don't clip that. Don't nobody clip that.
Completely out of context. Clip it.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Please don't. I don't want me saying that word isolated on the internet.
As long as nobody clips me saying "Oni-chan."
Okay, clip that. Clip that, everybody. Quick, before he notices.
Stepsister.
No!
Mr. Wright. You believed in me?
It'd be pretty shitty if I didn't. Like,
No.
nope, he did it. That's kind of shitty, Phoenix. I already started my statement.
Huh?
Not really. I just thought that make a cooler entrance than saying hiya.
Why do I even bother hoping?
Where have you been lately, Daddy? You haven't been coming to the office at all. Sorry about that, Trucy. I'm on a secret mission. Secret? You mean like you're undercover?
Like Mr. Latouche, only shorter and not as well dressed.
Oh no! What if you're shot too, Daddy?
Here's hoping.
Why would I do a thing like that to you?
Would I?
Would I do a thing like that to you? Anyway, I'm off for a while again.
Huh? You're leaving?
Oh, and one thing before I go.
What?
Good luck.
Right. What's all this sexual tension? Is that all you came to say?
I think you have things pretty much under control. You'll get Machi Tabai off the hook, no doubt.
Yeah, but...
But you're after that detective, aren't you?
Daryan Crescend.
It won't be easy proving he didn't. Especially not under the current court system.
The hell's that supposed to mean? The current court
Dismantle
system.
the entire court system. Anarchy shall reign. No longer will the death penalty be the only penalty.
Now the only penalty will be a strongly worded letter.
Community service. Other rich people that think they could just pay their crimes away will be screaming for eternity. What did Prosecutor Gavin say during the trial? Your case is based on one fragile assumption. Namely, that our Diva Divine is telling the truth. But what about the proof? The brooch and the switch? A piece of jewelry and a lyrical blunder. There are plenty of other ways to explain these things. The flaming guitar, too. All because you lack definite proof of their connection to the case. Also, I'm being big Goro Adachi right now. I don't know if that comes across. but
Okay.
that's my inspiration for Phoenix right now, apparently. But if the sultry songstress is lying, your case melts like butter in a frying pan, leaving behind the faintly singed scent of failure.
So what do I do?
Like I said, good luck. And be aware that it will be impossible to prove his guilt by conventional methods.
Ugh.
Oh, that reminds me. I have something to give from our detective friend.
Detective Sky. Emma?
What's comma L? Detective Sky, comma Emma. Oh, snackoos. Let's see. This bag of snacks here was meant for me.
Is that a Slim Jim?
It's a snackoo.
I know, but it looks like a Slim Jim.
It does look like a Slim Jim, which is unfortunate because it makes me crave jerky meat.
Oh, I could go for some good jerky. I haven't had jerky in a while. But
I
I
know,
would
right?
consider a Slim Jim jerky. That's like
No, Slim Jim is not, but that's what I mean. Like
that's like
my brain
glorified
does
salami.
that. Like yeah, my
Not
brain
even.
does that leap of logic where I look at one thing and then think of like 3 steps forward. Well, yeah, jerky's so decadent. I want to get a dehydrator and just like start making my own, but like it's very expensive, if you can imagine.
Yeah.
Because like that's why jerky's expensive, because you need a lot of meat to make a small amount of jerky.
Yeah. Well, and then
here
a
it
lot
is.
of jerky brands just put a lot of additives into it, like
Yeah.
sugar and stuff.
Yeah. I really do want to get a dehydrator though. I think it would be really fun.
Yeah.
What are those, Daddy? Sorry, what were you gonna say?
Nothing else.
They don't look like very good snacking material. They were found at the scene. Analysis of the fragments revealed traces of gunpowder. Gunpowder? Probably a firecracker or something similar, like the one kids are into these days. These fragments were found under the sofa at the scene of the crime, actually.
Under the sofa.
Hey, Apollo! That's where we found the little device thingy.
Right, this. Well, finally, some evidence that makes sense.
Oh, I get it. I'm gonna forget in a week, but the firecracker was made so it sounded like the gunshots happened later than they actually did.
Okay.
That's it. That's all for me, I suppose. See you after the verdict. Maybe.
Right. Wait, what do you mean maybe?
Every man has an igniter inside him. If your
feels like-
igniter's on for more than 4 hours, you need to go seek medical advice.
It just feels like that's like every person has like 2 wolves inside them or something.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
man has an igniter inside him.
Every man has somebody make a meme out of it. If not, I'm gonna make a meme out of it.
Excuse me.
That's you. Find Daryan Krishen's igniter and set it off.
The way you're reading it feels honestly very Zero Junior from 999, the bunny.
The Lagomorph?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, especially when you're reading the line, find his igniter and set it off.
I just wanted to add a little psychoticness to his portrayal for this one scene. He seems a little bit off the rails right now.
He's tweaked as fuck. He just did a bunch of like.
Just did a bunch of Delta 9, apparently.
he just did like a whole trucy full of cocaine.
A whole trucy full of cocaine.
You know, we're using her as a measurement, remember?
Yeah, 3 trucies fit inside the contrabass.
Yeah, so it's
Contrabass.
like a third of it. Oh, that's a lot of cocaine.
That is a lot of cocaine if he did a trucy's amount of it.
And he walked out of the door just like that.
That's
just
like
just like a
cocaine bear
magician.
levels of cocaine.
Normally.
What does he want us to do? No conventional methods? What does that mean?
I guess we have to take his advice and hope it makes sense when the time comes.
Just gotta piss Daryan off? Is that what he's trying to tell us? I guess.
No.
Or find the igniter inside him. Make him be the demon and not the angle. I guess.
We're almost at the finish line. Hang in there, Trucy. Why, Trucy?
Hang in there, Trucy. I don't know.
What? Yeah, I don't understand why. Okay, whatever, sure.
I don't know. I'm telling you, like this is like this case. I don't know if it's just this case or this game. You did say that this game is like your least favorite of the trilogy,
and I feel like this case is my least favorite in the game, to be honest.
Yeah, this case really is like stretching my ability to like suspend belief in a lot of the nonsense that's been going on.
It also just feels like it's dragging on so much, and like it doesn't help that like 80% of the cross examinations have been Lamberar.
Yeah.
It just keeps going back to cross-examining her, and I'm getting tired of that.
Yeah. Like, there's not, like, fun, kooky characters. Like, actually, now that you say that, it really does feel that way. Because, like, I'm thinking of, like, Great Ace Attorney and how that game kind of, like, flew by. And I think it's partly because, like, they just had so many bombastic characters, like, literally at the same time. Like, the cases didn't drag on that much.
I mean, don't expect that again for, like, any other mainline.
Yeah. I mean, eventually when we play Phoenix Wright versus Layton.
Sure, if we get to that.
Yeah.
Court is now back in session. Prosecutor Gavin, where is Detective Crescend?
In the witness lounge, ready to be called at any time.
Very well.
Might I add, I don't believe any of this.
Well, I don't give a flying fuck what you believe.
Daryan was the first detective I ever worked with. We stopped working together when he moved to Criminal Affairs Division 3. But his guitar playing, it fires my imagination.
That's nice, but it has nothing to do with the matter at hand.
Iconic.
Correct?
Oh, I know. Air for head.
Very well. Call the final witness to the stand. Detective Daryan Crescend.
Name and occupation, please.
Daryan Crescend, Detective, Criminal Affairs, Division 3. That's the International Affairs Division, for those of you who didn't know. Like, players out there who probably didn't know that. And I'm a guitarist for the Gaviners. Maybe you've heard of us. Do you fully understand the circumstances under which you stand before us today?
Yeah, I understand, Your Honor. What I don't understand is how you let this happen, partner. You gave me your word that I wouldn't be standing here.
The situation's changed, Daryan. And don't call me partner.
Feh, so much for old friends.
Fire Emblem Heroes. So much for old friends.
I see what you're doing, Daryan. You're pressing the prosecution. Your Honor, if we could begin the trial?
Yes, it's high time we did. Let's hear your testimony. You may begin with your response to Lamberar's testimony, if, in fact, you have anything to say about it.
I've got plenty to say. Lying must be a national pastime in Virginia. Is there only one T in pastime? That looks
maybe in like the British spelling?
But this
There's
game
a lot of
doesn't
words like
use
that.
British spelling.
Well, yeah, I know, but like there are a lot of words like that. Like there was another one recently that I just learned of.
No, it is one T. That is weird to me. Okay, sure. It just doesn't make sense to me because it's two words. Because it's like a compound word. It seems like a compound word, but I guess it's not. And wherever you're from, Mr. Justice. Ha! Conventional methods are out the window, huh? Here goes nothing. Okay. This is where we'll leave off. At Daryan's rebuttal. Oh, I can't save here. I gotta press. There we go.